And we're live. Hey, everybody. Had a few issues, but I think we got most of it straightened out. Looky over here. Look at this. Hang on, I gotta do it. Look. See that? That's a wrench, guys. Todd is our first wrench on the channel. I am so excited. So first, let me welcome you here. Welcome to Surviving Together. You are never alone. I am your host, Sharon. Remember, we believe you. We see you. We hear you. Let me do that again. We see you. We hear you. We believe you. I like that much better. I'm still thinking we need decoder rings, Survivors Unite. I think I gotta get that on a coffee mug or something. Every time I start saying that, Survivors Unite, it just comes out. So I don't know. Let me know if you guys can see, if you can hear. I've done some different things with my lighting. Tried to make it a little bit better because it's the middle of the day and it's like so bright, so different from the evening when we do. Yes, you might notice I do have a tad bit of makeup on. One of the only chances for you to ever see it, probably. The reason being is I blended into the wall. I mean, seriously, I put my face against that wall, and between the white in my hair and the white of my face, I mean, I want our guests to shine today, but, I kind of didn't want to blend in too bad to the wall. So, yes, Todd, thank you for reminding me. Subscribe, hit that like button, hit the bell for notifications. YouTube sometimes may notify you, may not. We can cross our fingers and be hopeful, right? From one another until you realize that trauma is the same no matter what. We have different events that shaped it. So different things are going to be important to us because of the effects are different for us. But dealing with that is all the same for all of us trauma victims. And I wanted to bring Kelley on to talk about this a little bit more, but just in dealing with the female view from female prison. How is this kind of trauma? And particularly, I was looking at the strip search, how for women does that affect you as a woman? Kelley, I'm going to throw the invite up here. Hang on a second. Ba-ba-da. Okay, there we go. So there is the link, and you can pop yourself on here. And I'm fascinated to know. I've got to imagine that the instances of, and the number of incidences of SA is a lot more in a women's prison. Excluding, okay, we're going to exclude for the moment all of the women who are consenting. And as we say, there is no consenting when you're a prisoner, but let's leave them out of it let's just go with the non-consensual people at this moment. Hey, Kelley, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yes. Perfect.
Echo.
You're absolutely perfect.
The TV down and all that.
Awesome. Yeah, I can hear you great. So, you were here for Tommy's discussion, right? As we were talking about that, and how did things, okay. First, give everyone just a 2-second overview of how you ended up in the Georgia State prison system.
I violated my probation, but my original charges were possession with intent on 3 different type drugs.
Okay. So
I was on probation, got a DUI, and got caught with more drugs. And I got lucky and ended up just having to do the rest of my probation time, and that's how come I got lucky.
Yeah.
Quarantine. I got lucky because I very well could have done some major time. I had 1,000 subs.
Oh wow, yeah. The feds would have liked to pick you up, and then
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
those intent charges. So did you have an addiction then as well?
No, I was drinking at that time. I got more addicted around 2015, 16, around the time me and my youngest son's father fell apart is when I really started dipping into what I was selling.
Okay, yeah,
And
right.
because I was dealing with him and just a lot.
Right, yeah.
I started dipping in and doing the pills I was selling.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. So
ultimately, there I
so when
ended up.
okay, excuse me. So when was your first experience with getting strip searched? Was that when you were way younger? Had you gotten arrested, or was that when you first went to the prison
The
system?
first time I ever got strip searched was when I got arrested for the drug charges in Georgia. That's when they strip search you in the jail. That's the first
Okay.
time that's Carroll County's procedure.
Okay.
Is that's when they do a strip search and do the thorough
Did you
to
have a
make
female
sure you're not
officer?
bringing in. Yeah, it was 3 female officers. It's
Okay.
humiliating. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
They see places you ain't never seen on your own body.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Mm-hmm.
it's humiliating. It really is.
Now you heard Tommy's description of lifting your feet and wiggling your fingers. Was it similar then for
It's
you?
the same for women.
Exact same thing for women. Okay.
Yeah, you have to bend over and spread them.
Yep. Okay. And they've got their flashlight and they're going.
Oh yeah.
Now I've listened to Tommy's, before, and it seems to be most people's least favorite job to do. Did you ever come across somebody who you just felt was a little too interested, or was everybody just kind of, okay, move along? We just, we're doing this because we have to, and.
I never felt that way.
Okay.
I did witness something years ago in jail. I watched outside of a window a girl raise her shirt and a deputy, do that to her. And somebody else ended up seeing and telling. And there was a big controversy over that. That was before Priya.
Okay. Was that a male
Years.
officer?
Yeah,
Female.
it was a correctional officer at a jail.
Now, when you were in prison, what percentage, or give us an idea of the guards? Did you have a lot of male guards? Did they
A
try and get
lot.
main women? No, just a lot.
Mostly men.
Okay,
Mostly men. Very
Now,
few women.
how does that work when you guys are going and showering? Do they have certain officers that are watching you then, or is it kind of
Well,
you watch our back
where
type of
I
thing?
was, it was open dorm and there was showers between sections of rooms with bunk beds.
Okay.
And there's one shower between each set of rooms, and there was a curtain.
Oh, wow.
So
that's a lot of showers.
Yeah. Yeah. But well, not for almost 100 women.
Okay, I guess I
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm like, between two and you got one
You're
shower.
talking 16 beds on each side and one shower in the middle and 3 toilets.
Oh,
So
okay,
that's
got
not
it,
a
got
lot.
it.
Yeah.
All right, I see the setup now.
Yeah. Now in the jail, the shower's like in the day room, and there's a curtain, and that's you have to. If you want any privacy, you have to hope nobody's going to pull the curtain back, and you have to get dressed, undressed, everything. You become a pro on not getting your feet. How to get dressed and not get your clothes wet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess you can. Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Now, I know Tommy's talked about, having somebody have your back, watch you, watch your back, make sure no one's going to come up behind them while they're showering. Was that a concern in the women's prison? I mean, I know most of it's surveillance.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Especially with the younger group of girls, the gangs.
Okay.
And especially them, they always had had watchers. Now, me, not so much. I just, I'd tell my bunkie, the one that killed a child, that I was going to get in the shower. And, I have to say, she was a decent human. She would, watch my stuff and all. But, as far as the showers that are by each other now, they now have curtains up separating those.
Okay.
But they used to be all one line in the open dorm, or the other dorms, like in general population, after you leave diagnostics. It's like that.
Now, you were a little bit older then when you went to prison, right?
Yeah, just a few years ago.
Okay, right. So did you find then your experience was a lot different because of you being older versus the younger crowd and the gangs and all of that?
I would think so. When I was younger, I never thought I'd end up there,
Oh, yeah.
I led a pretty normal life up until I was about 35. And I got to where I couldn't work. I had a car wreck, and I couldn't work, and I gained a lot of weight.
There's a trauma right there with the train wreck, right?
Yeah. And I'm talking weight. I couldn't walk. They thought I was going to die. And so I never thought I was going to go to prison until I got old, until I got in the life. And I knew it's like when I got in the life, I thought I'll end up going to prison one day, and I know it. And sure shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
you just thought you would because of the life that you were living.
Right. But yeah, I believe if I'd gone younger, it'd been a whole different experience. But I was older. I kept to myself. The friends I made were more my age. I read a lot. I've read a lot of books. I'm like Tommy. I'm well read.
See, as long as you kept me books, kept me supplied with books, I do happy.
See, that was me. As long as I had a good book, because you can travel the world in your mind.
Exactly. I could learn about this, that, and the other thing, and
that was my escape.
Yeah.
Books, that, and I told you, I shared with y'all I smoked K2 in there, but only because you're bored. But it gives you something to do all day to figure out how you're going to do this and do that, and it gives you something to do.
Right.
Which is sad, but
yeah. Well, you got to break your monotony, right? I mean, that's the number one killer, I would think, is just strict boredom and impetus for violence, because people just,
Yeah. I witnessed some severe violence in there. I did.
Even amongst the women.
Yeah. I watched a girl get about beat to death one day.
Jeez.
Over a tattoo gun.
I was just going to say, what was it?
It was a tattoo gun. It was a girl's tattoo gun, and they stole it from her and held it for ransom, and she wasn't having it.
Oh, boy.
The girl I told y'all about with the baseball bat that can heal the little boy with the baseball bat, she let it all. And I watched one of the most horrific events I've ever seen in my life. And do you know this girl, when they finally got in there to get her, she was knocked out. Her head was swelling. She died 3 days later.
Oh, jeez.
And do you know they still handcuffed her to put her on that gurney to tote her out of that jail, out of that prison? They still handcuffed her. Yeah. That's how they treat people in jail, in prisons.
The first time I heard about them handcuffing a pregnant prisoner who was in labor, active labor.
It's done.
I said, where do you think they're going to go? Do you think they're even going to, I mean, they're actively having a baby,
Right.
Do we actually have to have one handcuffed to the side of the bed for this? Let's just break it down and let's look at some humane ways of treating one another. I mean, even a prisoner. I mean, look at the situation. Like you're thinking, she's beat to death. Where's she gonna go?
I know.
Is she gonna get up and run off that gurney? No.
It took us forever to get somebody down there. Again, this is during the quarantine. And you got girls yelling out of all these dorm windows, screaming for help while we're there, and they're just ripping this girl apart. They had ripped her clothes off. They had thrown hot coffee water on her, menstrual blood. Oh, it was horrific. She had no clothes on her when they took her out. Like I said, she died 3 days later.
Right, yeah. Brain swelling.
And yeah, that's bothered me ever since.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that's you're just adding another trauma there.
Yeah.
Kelley, you've got, trauma upon trauma upon trauma. So when Tommy talks about peeling his onion, and you've just got to go to each individual trauma that you've suffered and looking at that. And, like we said, it doesn't have to be that kind of trauma, that big T trauma, if we want to talk about it. It can be that other stuff where it's just inhumane enough or dehumanizing, humiliating, where it just adds up, day after day after day after day, where you're doing this. And that was the one reason I was really interested from a comparison standpoint with sexual assaults to, if you don't mind me asking, you're an SA survivor as well, right?
No.
Oh, you are not. Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm fortunate in that way.
When you did the first strip search, or even say your first 5, did it ever get easier for you? I mean,
no, it never gets easier. It's
never got easier.
Humiliating and embarrassing every time.
Yeah.
And you just feel so violated.
Yeah.
And you walk away feeling as if their hands have been all over you, even though they haven't. You walk away feeling that way, and that's just as traumatic.
Absolutely. And this is why I want you and Tommy on, and I want to talk about this subject. I was so bummed he had to leave with you because I bet. Yeah, exactly. I'm so fortunate we had him for the time that we did. But I would bet anything that for the men, there is that type of thing, and there is that type of feeling, but they're not recognizing it.
Well, there's a stigma on men that unspoken thing,
yeah, absolutely.
And men don't feel as comfortable as women is telling their feelings and talking about their traumas, but we got to make them feel that way.
I got to imagine that they might not even recognize it.
True.
Because unless you're looking at those types of feelings, I mean, they're actively trying to just suppress that kind of stuff, right? Because that's not. So I feel like there are probably so many men, so many prisoners walking around with this trauma that they don't know about because they're not actively talking about it or dealing with it, and there's I just think that there's got to be,
Right. They don't recognize it as such.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, didn't you say that there were a lot of women who would enter into consensual relationships with guards? And things like that?
Throw themselves at them. Women, they'll do that to get what they want in jail. Or prison, jail, whichever.
Right.
When they're incarcerated, whatever it takes to get whatever they want, whether it be a pack of mustard or, a slice of pizza or drugs smuggled in. They'll do whatever. They'll throw it at a guard. They try.
So most of the time, it wasn't just some woman who wanted to have sex with a guard. It was because they wanted something. It was an exchange.
Right.
And because they think that they are voluntarily doing this, they're consenting to this act because they are getting something. They're doing their exchange, however this is. If it was for money on the streets, it's for things inside there. I bet some of them aren't really thinking about it as an assault.
Right.
When you have to do something like that to get something else, when we're not talking about money, that's an assault, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of them. Oh, geez.
There's a lot of scummy women in jail. There really are. Just like Tommy says, they're scummy men.
Right.
There's a lot of people in there that have no aspiration at all in life to be more than what they are right now, this second, sitting there in jail. They're locked up, incarcerated, wherever they're at. I just can't imagine that.
Did you find there was an age division as to that? Did the older women seem to recognize that, hey, I even if I'm not going to do anything major with my life, I'm still a little bit wiser and, are trying to handle things differently?
Some of them, some of the older women that had a lot of time really put themselves in the drama.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and something to do, right?
Yeah.
If you're there forever. I do want to get to some of these questions. Oh, Janet says, "Oh my God, handcuffed and active labor." Yeah, it's a huge issue. I know that there are advocacy groups that are trying to stop this. That some prisons actually have women's wards now, and where they can spend some time with their baby, especially if a family member is going to be keeping the child versus putting it up for adoption, and then letting the kids actually come in and them even visitation, having a different type of setup for the women and being able to connect with their kids. And so there is a lot of advocacy that is going on, but still needs to go on with that.
There needs to be. I saw three postpartum girls come from Atlanta, and I think it's 12 hours after they give birth. Don't hold me to that. They separate the baby and mother, and somebody, either the state or a family member, has to come get that baby, and you go to Lee Arundel, or back to, well, you got to go to Lee Arundel because you wouldn't be pregnant at another prison.
Oh, that's what they have to come out there.
Yeah, because there's 2 other women's prisons, but you have to go to Lee Arundel first for diagnostics. Okay. Everybody goes there.
Okay.
Don't matter what your charges are. You're all put there together.
That's your processing center.
Yes. That's why my bunkies were who they were.
Right.
But I've watched those girls just be in so much pain, and they needed medical care, still pouring blood, still
12 hours
after birth, still, it's pitiful.
Oh.
There's got to be some change. I belong to a Georgia prison advocacy group. Matter of fact, I posted something last night about that on Facebook. They're having a petition. So, but
is it advocacy for anything particular or just reform in general?
Reform.
Just reform in general.
And mental health mostly.
Okay.
But it's bad. Don't get me started.
Well, we do have a question. You can get started on this. Tree Hugger is asking, Kelley, how often did you feel threatened by abuse during your incarceration? And I guess we can say,
I wouldn't say never abuse. I was afraid at times of other people and situations. Okay. But as far as someone hurting me, no, I never felt like nothing out of the way like that.
That's good. That's good. Shannon, bye. I'm much too late for that, but because I'm going back in our things just to see if we have any questions here. No, we all did lose a few people along the way, but sorry to see you guys go. I'll get much better at interviewing and looking at comments at the same time. It's definitely a unique one for me, having to do this.
Well, we're all getting used to this. All of us.
Yeah, as all of us keep going. Gypsy had a question, but I can't find your question, Gypsy. So you're going to have to ask it again. Yeah, I can't find your actual question there. So I know somebody else had a question for you as to how you dealt with something. I don't want to say Tree Hugger says her daughter's best friend died in jail. She was a heroin addict and went through withdrawals. Was it the withdrawals that got her?
A dear friend of mine 3 months ago died in my hometown jail where I sat many nights. she died in there. They're actually
Is it because of the
protesting down there
withdrawals?
today in front of the jail. Huh?
Is it because of
Withdrawals.
the withdrawals?
Of the withdrawals. There are very few and far
Wow.
between jails that when you get locked up, it will help you withdraw. They're trying to pass
Wow.
a lot of laws on that now.
Yeah, from what we hear from
Yes,
Tommy about
but
certain
it
drugs, the
happens.
benzos
It's
and the
bad.
alcohol and stuff, if you just stop
Yeah,
that cold turkey, you're dead. That's it,
yeah,
and that's horrifying. That's absolutely
yeah.
horrifying. I mean, we've heard from him about some places where they will give you some drugs to get you
Yeah,
kind of step down a little bit, but
they're few and far between.
wow, I guess I just kind of thought that they would
No,
help you with
they
that.
throw you in a cold concrete cell. Remember the other night when Tommy said he withdrew in a cold concrete
Right.
cell?
Yeah.
That's what they do. They throw
Same type
you in
of thing.
there with a blanket and a mat if you're lucky. If you ain't in a turtle suit.
Oh,
Luckily,
geez.
I've never been in a turtle. That's the green suit he's always talking
Right,
about.
right,
Call 'em
right.
turtle suits in the South. But I ain't never had to wear one of them. But I sure have laid on that mat with one blanket, freezing to death, cold sweating.
Oh, geez.
'Cause
Oh, I mean,
'cause
you
I
think
needed
about
a
the drunk
beer or a
tank,
pill.
you can always, throw the guy in the drunk tank and then let him sober up overnight type of thing. And it's like, I think most of us who don't, who haven't had withdrawals. I mean, until I had actually gone through it, I had no idea because I wasn't a user of any of those other drugs. I can't imagine what those withdrawals were like. And when I started learning that how severe that they can be for people,
Yeah.
I mean, as an attorney, I'm astounded because I just would think that the accountability when I mean, science, when that you're risking somebody's life by doing that, when they're at a certain level, that there's got to be an accountability there.
Yeah. They don't care.
I just that it enrages me. It astounds me for one, and it enrages me a second.
They look down on addicts and criminals. We're lesser than.
Yeah. And that's, I originally got on the lifeboat by happenstance through when he was on Aaron's channel during that trial, the Jane Doe's trial.
Yeah, me too.
I was married to an alcoholic for 8 years, and when he started talking about addict and how that worked on the brain and why what you do as an addict isn't really you're not really in the driver's seat, it's the drug that is, and it made so much more sense. Not to say that I could have still stayed in the marriage, but it at least made more sense as to, I think there would have been fewer arguments. I think I would have left much sooner too, because I've been arguing about it, because you kind of know the outcome of that, and it's
I was with an alcoholic. I understand.
Yeah. And so I really understood that. And as I thought about other people, and we think about, the homeless always being on drugs, or, it's kind of always somebody else's, issue. But I think it's so much more prevalent now because of the drugs that have become more prevalent.
Yeah.
And younger and younger using, and that is just a Gypsy. Oh, here, Gypsy Essie. She asked, "How have you worked through it, Kelley?" And I'm assuming she's probably meant the trauma of not only the witnessing something, so traumatic, the beating, but also the what we were talking about with the strip searches, just the continual dehumanizing.
Right. I've been working through my trauma journaling, and by talking about it with all y'all, getting it out. I really do probably need to see a trauma specialist. I did for 6 months after I got out of prison. But now I'm in Virginia, and it really wouldn't hurt me to check into it and see exactly what my insurance covers. But
Yeah.
I told you on the phone earlier, I'm just now starting to work out and go to a primary care physician and do,
Right.
get things lined up that way. So, but I want to do that because I've got a lot in me,
Yeah.
a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. And that's why I tell everyone on here, I'm not a professional therapist. None of us are that I know of in here. And it's the best way, they know trauma. However, I will say this. I do think when you said I go see a trauma specialist, that's different than just seeing a therapist, because not all therapists know how to deal with trauma. Really, they deal with let's deal with your anxiety and let's talk about, this, that, and the other thing. That the therapist that I had, it was never getting at the root cause, that trauma that was behind there. And there is a certain mindset and a certain amount of things that you need to do to deal with that. So I'm glad that you said specialists, trauma specialists. So any of you who are seeing therapists, if you don't think it's helping, look at their background a little bit. Look at, what are they helping you treat?
Always read reviews. Take that from an old nurse. Always research your doctor.
Yeah. And the person may not be a bad therapist, but they may not just be getting at what you need to get at. So again, just like you would if you were at your regular doctor, your medical doctor, if you have a mental health person that you've got to be your own advocate as well. I didn't know anything when I was going to therapists, and I just thought, well, this is therapy, and I didn't know to advocate for myself and say, I'm not really getting what I need out of this. This is what I need. Can you even deliver that? I didn't know enough. I didn't, well, now we can educate ourselves and say, there are different people who specialize in different things. And I was even listening to a psychologist, and she said, I handle general psychology. You come to me and we're going to talk and we're going to decide, are you borderline personality? Are you this or that? And I think she was actually a psychiatrist. But she said, and I know trauma, but if you need to be treated for it, if that's what you need, she goes, I got a friend I'll refer you to, because that's not what I do all day long. That's not. So please, guys, and I know it's not affordable for everybody, and that's why we're here. I'm not an official therapy
I'm hoping
right
my
now.
insurance will pay for it, because I sure as hell can't.
Yeah,
Social
exactly.
Security don't allow for nothing extra.
No, it's no, it's bad. It's even the best insurance sometimes, like I said, you may pay for 1 or 2 visits a month, which is not very much when you break it down.
I don't know what I'd do without the boat. No, y'all, I just really don't.
I know that I wouldn't be in the position that I am right now. I know that this channel wouldn't exist because and I told you on the phone earlier, I had always thought I would end up working with SA survivors at kind of the end all and be all as to, what I would do. Because I've worked with you guys for like 30 years, whether it's a legal capacity or personal capacity. I've always been involved with you guys, but I always thought I was meant to do more, that there was something else that I was needed to help, but I didn't know exactly. And I thought it was going to be in a legal sense. And that this isn't. I'm not upset by that at all. I mean, I love the law to a certain degree, but if I could work here just with you guys 100% and do shows like the Lifeboat, I don't know that I could do 2 a day with this, but at least 1 a day with you guys, I would in a heartbeat. And I am so thankful to each and every one of you that you are here and that you are talking with me, and to everybody who emails me and tells me their story, thank you. And hopefully, even if that's just that one time that you've said it out loud, or even said it out loud in an email, take that power back. I think when we don't, and I know that some people say it's too painful to revisit, it's too triggering to revisit, and I understand that. And I'm never going to say to somebody, do it even though you think you can't handle it. I'm never going to say that to anybody. But if you can say it out loud, if you can journal it, And then if you could say it out loud, even just to the wall, there's
Mhm.
power in that. There's power in the spoken out loud word. And I think that we can bring back a little, take back a little more of our control over what we were through by talking about it. And so even if it's talking to yourself about it, I am a big proponent of talking out loud. So if you journal, and I do it all the time, but so if you journal, maybe just read your journal back out loud. That's my 2 cents on that. I'm going to get through some of this. I think that Jenn Marie says we are in dire need of widespread prison reform, and that is 100% absolute true. I know when I was in college, so we're talking years and years ago, right? I actually did a paper on prison reform and how do we reform. I don't remember what was in that paper anymore, but I do remember writing it. I remember being in Hoban Hall specifically, and I remember almost feeling a sense of just how overwhelming it was, and just where do you start? You've got all these different people who are trying to reform it this way or that way. What is best? Reform versus
and now you've got all these private prisons.
Yeah, well, that's now come. Yeah, I don't think that was really their
where they can do what they want to do.
Yeah, when it was there before. I think that I would like to invite Jenn on if she's feeling well enough. Jenn and I had been talking about this exact issue. I say this exact issue, the prison and trauma, and we were speaking about then the troubled teen industry, and she was relaying some of what her experiences were. And as we were trying to kind of compare and contrast and going, wow, there's a lot of similarities here between what she went through and trauma. I'm not seeing her here in the chat right now, but let me, I'm just going to check in with her and see if, yes, I know I was muted. Thank you very much, Jenn. Let's see if you're around. I'll get you. Oh, there you go. You're still in the office. You can do it. Okay. Here is the link. And I have to hit send. I got to remember to do that. Okay. Oh, and there you are. No, not remove. Put you in. Oh. Nope, you're still there. Okay. She's not here yet. Okay. This is first time I'm going to have 3 on the screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's going to be, oh, here she is. Here she is. Add to stage. Look at that.
I wished I had those balloons to.
Yeah, exactly. It's epic.
I got ladies.
You guys are my you guys are my first trio. You're my first threesome.
Oh. That would make it mine first too, I think. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Can everybody hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
Okay. Hi, Kelley. I love your face.
I love yours too.
Nah.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys came. I'm so glad you're on. This is just wonderful now. So Jenn, you heard what I was saying, and we were sitting right where we were sitting, and we were talking about this. So just give me your thoughts. What are the similarities? What kind of came to your mind as you were discovering all these similarities?
So listening to both Tommy and Kelley, and everything that obviously I'm thinking about today, what I find to be the most similar for me anyways, between prison and troubled teen industry programs is the lack of humanity and the humiliation, because we were also strip searched when we entered the programs. We didn't have to continue to do so with visitors and all that. Like I know a lot of my friends have had to do in prison. We didn't have that, but when you enter the program, you do have to strip entirely. And I was 14 years old.
Wow.
And I was a virgin. I was already an SA survivor at that point, and that was just my first one when I was 4. The first one was my worst one. I will say that much. But those are the glaring similarities that I see between prison and the troubled teen industry programs. I'm sure that wilderness programs and boot camps are more similar to prison than a lockdown hospital. But yeah, that I definitely could relate to that.
Walk us through just like your that first day when you were working. I got echo going on.
Is that me? Because it shouldn't be. I closed my YouTube.
I don't think so.
Okay. Can you repeat the question? I've had a day. Only Sharon knows this, but I'm gonna hang on. Let me just say this.
Okay.
I found out that there was a way to request my medical records from my first program. And I received those this morning. I've
Saw
not
that in chat earlier somewhere. Good for you.
It is.
I'm so
But
happy for
sometimes
you.
we need to be careful what we wish for. I will say that as well. Sharon
You're
and I
you're going to have to be careful. You're going to have to be careful taking that apart.
Yeah. Sharon's been really great with me today. You know, I had a kind of negative experience about it with my dad this morning, but that's okay. I set him straight. But I'm ready for your question now.
Okay. I just, when you first entered the program, when you were 14, just walk us through that first day or night. You know, what time was it? How were you taken? And what was the process that got you through to the other side?
So it was about 4 weeks from when. So when I was forced to move back in with my dad and stepmom, I started seeing this counselor. I have her name now. I started seeing this counselor, and she started to convince me that I had a drug problem because I had, and I covered this in my field trip video. I had been smoking weed and cigarettes and drinking 100%. I wasn't doing it every day. It wasn't compulsive. It wasn't a need. It was just teenage,
experimentation.
Absolutely. And when I was like a hot potato. I'm getting thrown around from family member to family member.
Right.
So I go back to my dad's. I start seeing this counselor, and she starts mentioning this place in Minnesota, and she starts selling it to me like this beautiful, like a resort. You know, we have a pool. Well, I agree to go. Because she's like, you can get away from your parents and both of their dramas and their homes and everything. I'm like, yeah, sure, sign me up, whatever. Get me out of here. That's
okay.
4-week
vacation from all of this BS
right
that's going on. Sure.
The initial program was meant to be 28 days. And my dad and I flew from Detroit Metro to Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
We were then transported to the hospital. And when we got there, I looked at him and I said, "This is a hospital." And I started to cry. So by the time we got in and we got up to the 5th floor, it's 5 North, the evaluation unit. I remember standing in the hallway, and to my left was like an office area, desk area, like a nurse's station would be. And then to my right was a bunch of kids in a room. So they were doing group, and we did group constantly. And so they took all of my belongings, and they told me to say goodbye to my dad. And I begged him not to leave me there, but he just said no. And so they took me to my room with 3 staff members, 2 female and 1 male, where they had me take off each piece of clothing and hand it to them. They checked that and put it aside. then I had to lift my arms up, I had to like bend over and
Yeah,
and
the whole thing in front of two
front two
females and one male.
females and one male.
Jesus.
Mm.
Yeah, and they actually entered me with their finger
14 years old.
Oh, wow.
for drugs.
To check for drugs, body cavity search. Jesus.
Yeah, and my dad had literally just left. So yeah.
So the commonalities between SA trauma and TTI trauma, we can see a correlation right there. I mean, come on, you're totally violated.
Absolutely violated and dehumanized and humiliated within 15 minutes of walking into the building.
Right.
Mhm.
And did you get your clothes back?
No, not until I was on a unit and out of evaluation. No, when I was in evaluation, I was in a gown for the
They
whole
made
time.
you earn them, didn't they?
They did make you earn them.
Sure did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what else I earned? I earned a sign that said no male contact that I had to wear around my neck every day because I was too seductive.
Oh my God.
I didn't even know what seductive. I mean, I knew what seductive meant because I was intelligent, but I
Right.
didn't know how to be seductive.
Right. You're 14.
Sex grossed me out because I had been completely forced to put on a show with my best friend and next door neighbor who was 6 years old when I was 4 for his brother and their friends.
Mhm.
So I didn't find sex to be, very seductive when I was 14. I apologize, ladies. I have to learn how to control my emotions when I talk about this.
Hey, this is so raw for you, Jen. Okay, this is so raw. We are going through so much, and you've had a day. That's why I only have a few questions. I did not want to get into too much. And we'll have you back again, and we'll talk more in detail. But you've got a lot to digest, and I just kind of wanted to get a little bit, about in your unit. Some of these units lock, right? You couldn't leave.
The whole hospital was locked.
The whole hospital locked.
Every elevator, every stairwell, everything was locked.
So you want to talk about then correlations between prison and TTI program? I mean, you can any of these types of programs where you're treated less than, and it's horrifying to me.
It's and it is. Being locked somewhere, especially when you don't belong there because you don't have a drug problem.
Right.
I don't even know if I have the words to explain it. I felt in prison. I felt institutionalized. That's why that song by Suicidal Tendencies, Institutionalized, is to this day like one of my theme songs of my childhood, because you can't open a window, you can't get fresh air, you can't go out for a walk. And walking has always been something that has been very therapeutic to me. No freedom whatsoever, and nobody believes anything that you say.
That had to be very confusing for you and devastating initially, but also just, on your day-to-day life, just so confusing as to how are you, how do I process this? This is so different than what I'm doing. And I don't know why you're making me do it, because I'm this way, not that way.
Right. Well, then, with the attack therapy, and when I say attack therapy, for those of you that don't know what that is, attack therapy is verbal attack therapy. You sit in a chair in the middle of a room and you're surrounded by chairs in a circle, and everybody takes turns. Yeah, Sanitarium is another one, Debbie, 100%. That song really hit me.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah.
Even
what I was thinking in my mind was Sanitarium by Metallica.
Even the song Master of Puppets too, though. That one also, but that whole album, the whole album of Master of Puppets was definitely what I realized this morning was I came off as very angry and I did not speak about my emotions, and I didn't realize that it went back that far because I tried to talk and everybody was like, you're lying, you're in denial, you're underplaying your abuse, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I can't tell you the stuff if I can't tell you the drugs I'm doing, clearly I didn't do any.
Right.
And so what you have to do if you're going to survive this, or at least you feel like if you're going to survive it, you have to learn how to lie. So I just listened to what other people said and just cherry picked stuff from their stories and made up my own stories in this horrible fantasy land that I lived in, that that it's insanity, absolute insanity.
So really, it's similar to Tommy. You go in and you're having to change who you are in order to survive.
Absolutely.
Getting out. Now, how long were you? This is 28 days you're supposed to be there. How long were you there?
I was there for 30 because they had to figure out if my dad's insurance was going to cover the long-term treatment program in Michigan, or if they were going to keep me there and put me in another unit of the hospital. That I just found out today too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I didn't know about that part, but I went home for really 2 sleeps. So I slept at home 2 nights, and then went to the second program. So I flew home to Michigan from Minnesota when I was released from there, and my dad picked me up, and I spent the night. Then we went out to that place, and they did like an interview with me, and then I went home, and the next day, I don't know how my dad kept me home, to be honest with you. I can't believe I didn't run away. He must have been watching me. He doesn't want to talk about it.
Did you consent to that second one then?
No.
But they still had, they thought you had a problem, or your dad thought you had a problem.
That my drug problem was so bad I couldn't even finish. It took me the full 28 days just to finish my first step, because I refused to do the steps because I didn't have a problem.
Right. And that's not the only person I've heard that from, listening to some of the TCI survivors, who have said the same things. They're like, it's just insane. That's just insane.
Alexa even said it in that documentary, The Program, on Netflix. She's like, I never tried, she had said she had never tried drugs at all. I had. I mean, I smoked cigarettes and weed, and I drank. But again, like I said, it wasn't compulsive, it wasn't constant. But it definitely was. I see you, Todd.
Welcome to the club.
I mean, it's a club we didn't want to be in, but now that we're here, let's make the best of it, right?
Well,
yeah,
at least we have each other. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did we miss?
Oh, a lot of people were leaving. I think that we missed that. A lot of people left, but no, it's still as long as we're talking up here, the chat's always going to be live. It's not until the screen goes dark.
Right.
But feel free to come in and out, or whatever. We're just having our conversation here. But yeah, it's as we were talking before, connection, and it doesn't need to be exactly the same. Welcome to the club. If you found more people who have been in, TTI type programs, or just, whether it was an actual TTI, or whether it was something similar, the shelter, group home, things like that. Again, our trauma is trauma. And it's the event that defines the differences between us, but it's the same underneath.
I found in my research and in meeting people and speaking to people, there is a huge correlation, and I believe that this is what connects us and brings us all together. There is a huge correlation between the troubled teen industry, the prison system, and Scientology. And that might sound weird to people, but especially Scientology and the troubled teen industry, because it all comes from one place, and that's the first drug rehab, which is called Synanon, that then became a cult, a very dangerous and deadly cult. But L. Ron Hubbard stole a lot of Chuck Diedrich's ideas for Scientology, and people who went through Synanon made the troubled teen industry. There are, and I'll be covering that on my channel, the origins of the troubled teen industry.
I was just gonna say, I can't wait to be listening to that over on your channel. And so, guys, if you have not subscribed, if you haven't been over to Jenn's channel and checked out the content that she's got on there, it's Between the Cracks, and we'll have somebody, even if Todd's not here anymore, I'm not sure, but we'll put that up, and it's at Between THA, right? Between the Cracks, because the was taken. So it's Between the Cracks. You'll find her over there, and some wonderful stuff. And she's got more amazing, just more amazing content that's going to be covered. And hopefully we will get a chance to talk about that on your program after you're done.
Yeah, and it would have been done this last week. However, I have a severely pinched nerve in my left shoulder blade. So even sitting here to do this has been difficult, but I will be having that series up this week. Next month, also in April, I'm going to be interviewing Meg Applegate, who's the CEO of Unsilenced, because she's got her memoirs coming out on May 7th, and I'm really excited.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you to have her on your show. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. Okay, we will definitely.
I'm a good friend, and I'm really grateful to everyone.
I'll tune into that. Supposedly, I am going to be on the lifeboat, guys. Yes, in a few days. We didn't set it exactly. I don't think Tommy had the thought in mind that he was going to have this trip at the time. So I'm going to speak to him, and we're going to figure out whether that's going to be tomorrow night or Monday or Tuesday, but it'll be at least the initial idea was it would be fairly soon on the heels of, and I think we might kind of continue our conversation, trauma conversation that we were having as well.
I'm excited for that.
Oh, good. Todd's still here. Yeah, if you could throw up a link to Jenn's channel, that would be great, and a link to Kelley's channel if you haven't already.
Kelley's is in there.
Kelley's is in there. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I will throw up a link also in the description. Tommy's is already there, I think, and I'll make sure to get one to each of you guys as well. Al-Anon. What are you mentioning about Al-Anon? I couldn't stand it.
Al-Anon falls under the umbrella of
AA.
Yeah, because really, initially there was only AA,
right?
And then after Synanon, NA started. Because AA was not welcoming to the drug addicts. Because alcoholics are such a higher class than drug addicts, right?
Oh, ain't that something? Well, I guess I'm of two classes.
You're so classy, Kelley.
Yeah, you're so classy. You got both of them.
I think your new theme song is "Fancy" by Iggy Azalea.
I don't
so
fancy. I have to listen to it. No, off the top of my head.
Oh yeah. Well, I did put on Discord. Davey's right. I did put on Discord, but you have to go into the YouTube channels down at the bottom of our server. I'm not listed on the list of streamers.
On the side, yeah.
Kelley and Sharon are, but you have to go in.
You gotta tell Cosmic. She'll do it.
I did.
Just tell her you want it done.
I did. I asked. I'm not. I'm just not.
She just hadn't got to it yet.
Did you ask Christy? Cosmic Christy?
No.
You were dealing with it before. You were doing it when Cedar was doing it, and there's So talk to Christy.
She said that she had to ask her dad, and I
her
told
not to bother him.
I told her not to bother him.
That was helpful, Jenn. That was really helpful.
Bother him with it, and then I never brought it up again.
And then she got busy with schooling, so she hasn't been doing a whole heck of a lot with it. So ask Christy, please.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
I just don't like to be pushy. You know me.
Oh, it's not pushy.
He's been busy.
If you ask once.
She told me to keep aggravating her, and we just had to be talking one night, and that's how. So just,
Yeah. Okay.
Just
Well,
yeah.
I'll listen to you two because now I feel
Yeah.
feel a
Asking
little,
once is not pushy.
I feel a little bullied with love.
That's
Of
exactly
course,
what
of
it
course.
is.
But I'll take that kind of bullying all day.
I
And,
hear you.
Thanks, baby. I love you.
Jen, just real quick, just because of all that you're going through, that I know, and I hope you've gotten your camera out, and that you're going to do some video journaling with all of this to kind of get these emotions out and kind of get a timeline set in your brain, because I know that's what you want. I know you want to put everything in the line and perspective and everything. And if you're not going to write it down, which is totally fine, guys, if you don't like writing in journals for some reason, whatever that reason happens to be, if doing this, what we're doing, just with your phone camera or with your computer, just record it that way, listen back to them. You can do it at double speed, then you can just, but you'll be able to go back to them the same way. And I think it's even more powerful personally because you're talking. Why I still write, I don't know, but yeah,
Thanks,
definitely.
Todd.
And say something nice to yourself in the mirror. No matter how dumb you feel, do it. That's always something good to do once a day.
I do feel incredibly stupid when I do that. But it is. But it helps. It is reinforcing, and if you can't like have a smile on that face, right, without having a smile on this one.
I'll have to get you that "Hello Gorgeous" sticker I have on my mirror so that you can see that every day too.
There you go. There you go. I saw some wonderful mental health stickers that I couldn't figure out why you would want them or where you would put them and stuff. And now they make perfect sense to put them on the mirror, or tagging them or something. Just very interesting. I wanted to read this. Janet said step programs are only one model. Everybody's unique. And I think that's why this type of connection is working so well for so many people, because you can make it what you make it. How often you reach out to people, how you reach out to people on the chat or behind the scenes, it's all up to you. Whether you're doing it all just online, whether you're connecting with people on the phone, whether you're actually talking to them or you're just actually writing. Anyone who doesn't know, Discord has rooms that you can actually talk to people in, like a regular phone call.
Love
and
it. Right.
Do they have video?
Yes, they do. We have been we've had a group of us on video before.
Yeah,
Baby will tell you.
I would love to be. You guys didn't invite me.
Well, that was months ago, so let it go.
I just learned that could even be done.
Yeah, I didn't know.
And Nick told me. I had no clue till the other day.
Yes, exactly. So if it's on Discord, guys, you can type on Discord, but you can actually talk to people like you're on the phone, or video like we're doing here, and have video chats. And so there's another place that you can go. So it's just more options, more ways to connect. And I think that is wonderful, because sometimes we don't feel like being verbal, sometimes it's helpful that we can just type things, if we're feeling like that. We needed that closed off, like, Misha was going to call last night, and I just was feeling a little, I could do the text, but I just didn't want to do a phone call, and it takes somebody who gets that to go, oh, okay, I'll talk to you later, instead of going, what's the freaking deal, and having somebody not understand that. And that's the most wonderful thing about having you guys, is you can say the littlest things, and you can have at least 5 people going, I get that.
And we get it.
Exactly. And it may not be the exact same thing, or maybe that person doesn't, but I guarantee you that other person over there does. And to have that type of connection. And as we were talking originally with just the essay thing, when you start talking about this in the real world, people look at you and go, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
And what else, they're like, okay, I don't know why you're telling me. What else am I supposed to do with this information? Here I'm sorry. And I get that. And I understand where you're coming from. And that sucks. And, all of that kind of stuff. And I think it's
got to be
that's so-
really hard for people that have never experienced, like Kelley. Let me ask you, because luckily you've never experienced SA, and I'm really grateful to know that. By the way, I'm really grateful to know you haven't had to experience that. How does it make you feel on the other end, listening to like Sharon and I talk?
Oh, it's upsetting to me that y'all suffered that.
Well, it's upsetting to me that you
Yeah.
suffered prison.
Yeah.
When I was a little girl, I think I was about 3. I was real little. We went to Texas and we drove. It was when I was building I-20. Oh, it's been that long. But we stopped at a motel overnight, and I had to sleep in the bed with my Uncle Ben. Now, he did not touch me, but I knew then that was wrong, and I begged my mother to not make me sleep in the bed with him. But he did not mess with me. But I remember that, and that made a lifelong impact on my life. Even
wow.
just at that. And
Yeah.
that's even though nothing happened,
Right.
knowing I was so uncomfortable. I remember being on the edge of the bed. We was my mom and daddy was in the bed next to us.
Right.
It was old timey.
It was.
It
was just a space issue.
yeah, and it was. But I can remember being on the edge of the bed. And I loved my Uncle Ben.
Yeah,
and he had never done nothing but to me, but I knew it was wrong.
Yeah. And that's why I talk about trauma being the same. We hate hearing about, I've never been to prison. I've never been to jail. I've never been handcuffed. Okay. I have never sat in the back of a cop car involuntarily. I've been on ride-alongs and things like that, but you suffered trauma. And just as we were comparing, say that, just the strip search or the other things that you witnessed there, again, at least we can all say, I get it. I get the feeling.
Right.
I get what trauma does to
you. It's
you.
called empathy. And if more people had it and worked on using it as a tool, this world would be such a better place. And
look at this, Kelley. Janice says, "Oh my God, Kelley, that happened to me as a kid too."
How about that?
Just because it was a different era. It's if it's this is how many beds we have. This is the space, and you need to share this one with your cousin because that's that's what you got.
My daddy didn't think nothing about it. That was his brother,
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, nothing happened.
It was
so
awkward. And I wasn't it was my first trip to Texas, and I was between 2 and 3 years old.
Oh, geez.
So I was little.
Yeah.
And I remember that more so than I do the trip seeing my
fascinating. It's fascinating that you have memories from back then, because through my research, I say that a lot, through my research, but in my research, I have learned that mainly people who are traumatized as young children are the ones that have memories from that young. Normally children only retain memories from like 6 to 7 years old.
Yeah.
It's when they get older that they retain those memories.
Well, yeah, obviously that was a very traumatic experience for you, even though it wasn't necessarily a bad experience, type of thing. It wasn't anything going on. It was just still something that made such an impression upon you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember it. I'm 54 today, and to remember the exact feeling 52 years later.
Yeah, exactly. So that made a huge impression upon you. And it was
Davey says that mine was 3 years old, but teens are blurry, and that's
very common as well.
Possible sign, sweetie. That's a possible sign. I can say that I've been to prison, but only to visit people.
Mm-hmm.
But I have been to jail as a teenager, and then one time as an adult, and I got handcuffs slapped on me in Daytona Beach, Florida, while I was staying at the Salvation Army shelter, and I was smoking a cigarette with a friend of mine in a parking lot across the street of this private eyes office, and they like slap the cuffs on you really hard, and I just immediately had a panic attack. And then I spent 36 hours in a county block. I was in a block. It was really weird. Like you would think that you go like to a holding cell or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a block, and then I ended up getting a bunkie. She was arrested for DV, even though she was the victim. But that's how it goes in Volusia County, Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is in Georgia too.
And there were 6 women that came in,
Domestic violence, you both go.
and they were all arrested, and the men were not.
Yeah.
Yes, no kids should feel unsafe.
No. And it's realizing this actually, and versus, like we said, your cousin, you got to share with them, because that's what our space thing is. When my son came up to me and said, I don't want to hug so-and-so. I don't want to. And I'm like, but you have to. Well, why? And that made me pause. And I'm like, well, because I was always told I had to hug and kiss every relative that I had, right? Did I like that with all of them? No. So that was an epiphany moment for me. I mean, that was a showstopper. I just kind of went, whoa. Yeah, there was ones I didn't like because I didn't like the way they kissed, or, it was just icky, or you didn't like how somebody hugged you. Maybe there was a weird feeling there, and I just went, okay, as long as you're cordial, as long as you're warm to them, especially if it's your grandparents, give a hug on their back or something, it's just, make sure you're still nice to them, but no, you don't have to go up and hug and kiss, every single relative you have. And
no.
I think it's more and more people now are realizing that, and really looking at kids and their autonomy. I mean, yes, they need guidelines and they need, things like that, but they're can be just as autonomous in some ways. Your mouth is open on
I'm reading. So Kristen said, I was just thinking about how I would feel if you stuck me in a concrete room that size and didn't let me out. And Kelley, I don't know if you ever went to solitary. I was.
I have never been put in solitary confinement. I have, however, been what you call locked down in a cell during. I was quarantined to a cell in my jail before I got sent to prison to be quarantined. But then every time in the whole state of Georgia, every time there's a fight or a riot in one prison, they all lock down, and now all the jails do too, usually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you have to lock down. If they're short of staff, you're locked down. If it's snow on the ground, you're locked down. If it's storming outside, you're locked down. So I spent a lot of time in a room about the size of the room I'm sitting in now, just like I am now alone. And
the great thing about that room is, Kelley,
I got y'all in a deep.
Well, you can also walk out of it. You can walk out of that room.
Right, there is.
That's true.
Davey says going scared her straight. So,
Yeah. The one night
she didn't go back.
The shoe, you have to, in prison, you have to spend your last night locked in the shoe. They say it's for your protection because people are jealous you're getting out and they're afraid they're going to hurt you. I don't know.
I think it's probably
that everybody
one last
humiliation for me.
Yeah.
But I did spend the night there, and it was, from what I saw in that 24-hour period, it was not a pretty sight. And it never got quiet, and screaming and yelling and horrific sounds.
Well, that's Tommy said that too about the shoe, that it was never quiet.
Yeah, and thank God I only spent 24 hours there, but I took it in.
It's been proven. It's been proven that doing that to people is torture.
Yeah,
it's literally the definition of torture.
It is to be locked in a room and nobody talk to you Oh my God. I don't know what people do that don't read.
Oh,
I
oh.
just
They
don't
scream.
understand the
Like you
people
said,
that go
they
in and
scream.
They
don't
end up going
read.
crazy because
I don't get
you
it.
can't go that long without having some sort of
Yeah.
psychological stimulation. They would count cracks in the walls then, that they have to be doing something, because you will literally go crazy from doing absolutely nothing.
Right. Exactly. I that ain't me. Y'all, I've traveled the world in books, and I have
Right.
read a lot. I've read.
I have a few friends that when they were in prison, my friend Damien was in prison for a little over 18 years, and he read everything.
Wow.
Like, he had a
Yeah.
whole storage unit full of books when he was released, because he would just send them out, and then we would send them new ones in, and then because you'd have to switch out, because
Right.
and they were always shaking him down because he was so high profile that every time he brought attention to the prison that he was in Arkansas, they did a shakedown in his cell and just tossed the whole thing.
Oh wow.
So he started just sending stuff out to his now wife, to put away in storage.
Yeah.
That would be me. I would just have books galore.
I would
I'd be
read
happy with
like
that.
crazy, but I mean, just to be in a, and
The noise would get me.
he was on death row, so that was a completely different situation than
Oh yeah.
The noise and when you're incarcerated is horrendous. It's a constant echo. There's never no flat sounds. It's constant echo in those buildings.
The only thing I can liken it to is, like, I was in the hospital for 3 days when I had back surgery, and you cannot sleep because you're always hearing something.
Well, and they wake you up all the time.
That too.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah, I just want to say that everybody that's mentioning Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I love that book.
Oh yeah.
And I love the movie.
I did not like it, only on principle, because it was my brother's favorite book, so I had to stand firm. I had to stand firm in the other camp. But I have
another book to not like.
I have since changed my ways. Don't. So, who's starting it?
Oh, you're reading it tonight.
Oh, is Mischief reading it?
Oh, wow.
Oh, Davy's reading it.
How do y'all see the comments?
Woohoo! Huh?
I don't see the comments.
You don't have it.
Not be.
Are you on your
I'm
your
on
phone?
my iPad. I can see. I have to have the computer to do it.
I don't know. Maybe on your right hand side, does it have any?
No, it just says you're in the show.
Does it have anywhere where you can write a comment?
No.
Oh, your internet mom sent it to you, Davy. Oh, now I see what you did.
There you are. If you find a place that you can write a comment, generally tapping on that will get you.
I can pull up the comments. Y'all can't see me though, can you?
No. We can see you. We can see you.
Oh, you can? Well, now I can, but I can't see y'all. That's crazy.
Weird.
Wow, and she sent you a bookmark. Wow, Davy's got a better internet mom than Izzy does.
I got you a bookmark, Jen.
Because you're awesome, Sharon.
When it comes, I'll give you your stuff.
Ooh, I like stuff. Kelley, there you are again.
Yeah, I got lost there for a minute.
Can I ask you how you're doing today, Kelley?
I'm doing okay. I am. I'm hanging in there. I did get a list of rooming houses and rentals this past week from the local housing thing.
Oh, good.
So I'm going to start calling on that Monday, because see, I live on a Social Security check, and everybody says, don't contact unless
Right.
So I'm just going to see. That's all I can do.
Absolutely.
Do they have any of those high-rise disability apartment buildings in Roanoke?
They've turned a couple of old buildings into some older some apartments for older people. An old school that was like 3 or 4 stories high.
I saw that one you sent me was really nice.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, that's a really nice community for
Yeah.
affordable housing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so too. But
Yeah.
there's not a
get in
lot
love with your
here.
phone.
Yeah, I'm working on it though.
Yeah. Just a
I
lot of
am.
phone calls.
Has he
know.
come back at all except
Yeah,
that one time?
he's here. He's here now and there.
Has he been
But
leaving?
he hasn't anymore acting out on me.
Okay, good. So I don't have to call my friend in Roanoke and have them visit.
We take care of our home, guys. We take care of our home.
No, not at this moment.
Okay.
But I am working on figuring out what to do.
Yeah, we'll talk some more about that too. I love that, Mischief. That's amazing that you named your daughter that. I
That
love
is
it.
so cool.
That's pretty.
I don't have an internet mom.
Well, I'm an internet mom. I'm Izzy's internet mom.
Yeah.
She told me.
I don't have a mom or a daughter yet. I have sisters. I have lots of sisters, and you guys.
I've been looking for a mother for years.
Yeah.
I have a twin sister too. She's in the chat. She just happens to be like 11 years younger than me, but that's it. Hey, Seventh, I didn't see you in here, buddy.
Oh, there you go. Hey,
Good to see you. It's really good to see you.
I am so glad that so many people showed up for this, and it was what's an internet mom? Oh, it's just one of us who kind of checks in on you. Like if I was an internet mom for you, I would check in on you, and I would see how you're doing, and just kind of like a mom does or a mom should type of thing.
Yeah, it's just you're there. You check on them. You talk to each other, privately. I don't know. I got really lucky that Izzy chose me. I don't even know what to say. She's a blessing. I love Izzy. And by the way, if anyone's ever lonely, Izzy is in Discord a lot.
Yeah,
wonderful
friend.
Okay, she was overwhelmed the other day, just totally, absolutely, 100% overwhelmed. And she asked me if I needed anything for the channel, and I'm like, well, there's two thumbnails, one for Wednesday night. It was Wednesday, and one for today, and it was within 5 minutes. She shot me 2 emails with both of them. So if you liked Wednesday's thumbnail or you liked today's thumbnail, thank Izzy for that.
I told you I loved both of them.
They were awesome. And
good job.
Misha's done ones for me before.
She's not here, but Misha is a superstar.
Yeah, she went to go lay down. She's had a migraine for a few days. But we were talking. So we do have actually an intro and an outro planned. It's I know it's going to be so great. We just have to put it into action. So when her head is feeling better, we'll actually do that.
Right.
Mischief Managed says she's Davy's internet mom. She's adopted her.
Too bad Tommy isn't here to see the Easter egg.
Oh.
He thought I meant it. Remember when I said that, and he thought I meant like I had a real Easter egg on my, and in my background, and I'm like, no, like an Easter egg, like a little secret joke.
Right.
I agree, Sandy. Izzy is my Discord hero too.
I'm not in Discord as much.
Well, you're kind of a busy person.
Okay, I guess I screwed up a little bit, but okay, so more people will get wrenches, just throwing them out there so that Jen, I've got to get you a wrench, and of course Misha wants a wrench as well, and definitely will. I wasn't excluding anybody today out of anything. It was just Todd had offered, and so I gave him a wrench, and I don't think we thought that we would need any more than that, but some people had to leave and come out, so we will definitely have more so that we will be able to switch out and stuff.
I don't know how to be a wrench.
Oh, that's not.
I do. I'm a wrench on Johnny's page, but he doesn't really go live anymore, so I don't really have much of a job to do with Johnny anymore.
Well,
but yeah,
smaller channels want me for a wrench.
All right. Well, wait till we blow up, ladies.
Practice.
We're on our way to blowing up too.
Absolutely.
We'll
Well,
all
and
get
I
there.
can't wait
even
with
though we didn't
you.
mean, even though we didn't mean to, it's just happening organically, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's how we want it to be, organic.
Yeah.
Thank
I
God
didn't
for
even
that.
care, and I still don't even in my videos even, and I have to start to remember to say,
Oh,
you
me
know,
too.
like, subscribe, blah blah blah. And
If
I'm
it
still
wasn't for
Yeah.
Todd today, I would have lost that again.
oh,
Probably
that's
not
all
until
right,
the very,
Janet.
very end.
I'd rather you be safe and driving, Janet, than make me come.
Absolutely, 100%.
Good Shannon, what's an
Shannon,
internet
I
mom?
just an internet mom. You're not the first person who was asked that. Internet mom is just, you somebody who adopts you, or you adopt somebody else, and just kind of your kid, and you
Somebody
check in
feel-
with them.
Someone you
You
feel
check-
connected with, that
Yeah.
that you
They-
just then stay in contact with.
Yeah. Then same type of thing as an internet sister or whatever. Just
I
somebody
have
you're
a bunch
checking on.
of sisters.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Y'all are all too old to be
you
moms.
two are two
Or
of my
daughters.
sisters.
Y'all are my sisters.
Absolutely.
I always wanted a sister too.
It's
That's what
same
Sharon
here.
said.
That's exactly what I said.
I always wanted a sister too, but then when I was 13, my mom had one. So
Right. So
well, they was 13 years apart. There was 8 years between me and my brother, and we never have gotten along and spoke or nothing. Just too far apart.
Well, my brother and I are only 3 years, but he's older, and he would have been just as happy being an only child. It's just him. It's just him and his personality. He just, that's him. So I basically grew up with no siblings.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
you got a bunch of sisters now.
I got a bunch of
Yeah.
sisters now. Yeah.
one
and
of
I
them
even got.
one of them that you drive to see whenever you
I
see them.
know. And if we'd
2
had,
hours
I
away.
would have if there hadn't been the storm.
Well, if
That
we
kinda
didn't
threw a
have the
monkey wrench in it.
snowstorm, y'all, Sharon would have been doing this from where I'm sitting right now,
Absolutely.
which she has done before.
Yes, yes. We will do a Between the Cracks
A what?
show.
I'm sorry, we're gonna do a what?
Oh, Surviving the Cracks. Between the Cracks is you. We will do we not in the royal we. Jen and I. We will do a Surviving the
Jen
Cracks.
show is called Surviving the Cracks.
In the Cracks. Yeah, we do have actual topics that we want to talk about too, but we had been talking about just opening it up and just really just shooting the shit, doing a game night or something, something silly. It's hard to do it as just a single host. I think you got to get more people involved. So if we were kind of doing that, and maybe had some of you guys on as well or whatnot, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
So many people. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say there's an app called Kaboom, and it's like a trivia game. And we can make a room where everybody's in it and play the trivia, and whoever gets the answer right first wins the, whatever. I don't know. I've done that with jobs.
Bragging rights.
Yeah, bragging rights until we get some merch to send out.
Yeah, exactly. So we kind of thought about doing that for Surviving the Cracks, as well. In general, my channel, Jen's channel, we're dealing with some serious, I'm just gonna say it's serious, heavy stuff a lot of times, we're talking about. And to lighten it up a little bit, we try and joke as much as possible where we can, but a lot of people have different ideas as to what they want, and they want to talk about things, and they bring things up. So even if we're joking, we may go back to a serious subject. So I think that it would be good to use Surviving the Cracks to kind of lighten things up. And
we're getting some good feedback from that idea from doing.
Okay, wonderful.
Todd's got to go.
Okay, Todd, bye.
Thanks for modding, buddy. You're
absolutely,
the best.
yeah. You did. You helped out so much, Todd. I could not have done this without you. You threw things up.
Groceries.
You reminded me of things, and I couldn't have asked for more. You did great. So
I wish my mom would bring me groceries, Todd. Jeez. My mom can't even visit me. She can't get up the stairs, unfortunately.
Yeah. One's for Jen's mom, guys.
One's for my mom. She's having surgery on Friday.
So she definitely needs some stuff going on there. That would be great.
Shannon. Kelley, any last thoughts?
Yeah, let's do a game day. I was just looking back through these comments and think, yeah, we'll
Okay.
Jen and
Yeah.
I will talk and we'll figure how
Just
to.
let me know.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Oh, you're not being left out of anything, Mama.
No.
No, you're stuck with us now.
thoughts
We're like
about today?
leeches.
Mhm.
I would
Just
like to see
think like
some
you went
major-
in the swamp and we're leeches now that are like stuck on your skin.
Oh, those things always creep me out in movies.
Oh God,
Me
you're
too.
Stand By Me. Oh,
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, you had to bring up some. Now you know I have to say it. You know you brought up Stand By Me, so you know that I have to just randomly say Feldman.
Yes, definitely, 100% with that. Oh my gosh, I will be singing Stand By Me songs all day in my head now.
Now I'm gonna go have to watch River Phoenix movies all night.
Oh yeah,
I
that
started
was.
watching that. I started watching that Quiet on the Set docuseries on Max last night
Mhm.
about the Nickelodeon kids.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I have to say that it's really shaking me because I know that Dan Schneider guy, the guy that they're talking about. I knew him when I lived in LA, and
Oh my God.
I'm so
Wow.
disgusted by that man. And
My kids are sick over the fact that they watched that for years. Just sick over it.
I have an adopted kid here at home, like not legally adopted, but
Yeah.
I just really
I've
collect
raised a
strays.
few of those.
Yeah, I collect strays somehow from, as I'm nobody's mom, but I'm a universal mother. It's one of my favorite things to say. But she called me the other night and she's like, I am so sick and disgusted and devastated over this, watching this. She's like, I watched this every day as a kid.
Yeah.
Like I didn't, because I was in my 20s in the 90s. I didn't
Yeah.
care about Nickelodeon.
But my kids watched it and I allowed it.
Yeah, well, you didn't
Well,
know.
yeah. I mean, we didn't know, and I think it just goes to show you. And the point that I drive home to everybody, right, is that anybody can be an SA victim because there are perpetrators for anybody. They want, and they don't look like them. So the stranger, the person who you just kind of know.
Exactly.
So I'm not surprised that you kind of.
They're wolves in sheep's clothing.
Oh, big time, especially
Yeah.
in that system. As I know quite a few former. I had to laugh. She's hilarious.
Is that interesting? Yeah, Davey, you want a wrench? You got a wrench. I got to go to
You
YouTube though for it.
You open your mouth, you're gonna get it.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? She'd be a great gatekeeper, though. I mean, the
Oh.
trolls would stand no chance.
She's incredibly protective, just like
Yep,
her twin.
yep. And you read through these things like, yeah, absolutely. That'd be.
And I agree, Shannon. The ladies need to lift each other up rather than continue to knock each other down like we were taught. And that's why we are a collective, and we are here to lift each other up. We are not here to cut each other down or be nasty anyway. Look, I got a wrench in my stairwell. Y'all want a wrench? It's an old, big, red, heavy wrench.
Who wants a wrench? We got a wrench over here. We're passing our wrenches. I got a wrench over here.
Well, Lord Kiss Freak and his girlfriend Davey want wrenches.
Yep, they want wrenches too. So
By the way,
problem.
there's also internet boyfriends and girlfriends. Like my internet boyfriend or my YouTube boyfriend is Jeremy Shelton. Davey's YouTube boyfriend is Lord Kiss Freak.
Okay.
Got it. I don't have one.
I don't neither.
Pick one.
No, I don't. We'll have to.
I was smart.
I
was smart.
Voice.
I picked an Australian.
There you go.
I was smart.
Okay, not a problem.
I'll never hook up with him because he's an Australian.
Yeah.
Never say never.
Yeah.
You never know. I wanted to just address Debbie's comment here. It says, no offense to the guys, but it was nice having a lot of ladies here. the predominant number, Debbie, here is ladies, and it's going to continue to be. I mean, really, the stigma on men is still so great. I welcome anybody, though, and we welcome our men here too, because, you know, sometimes they give us a little bit different of a perspective from where they're sitting, because, you know, we think we've got it bad. You know, the men, you know, it's a whole different world for them. So when they speak about anything, it's powerful.
Right. It might happen more with us, but it affects men and boys in a completely different way that we could never understand.
Right.
Because of that masculine macho, no feelings,
right?
Kind of, you know, and that's another.
Why are you suck it up?
Okay, Steve-O, you're not old, and I don't want to hear the word sorry coming from you. So there's no sorries in here, buddy.
Why? You want to be an internet grandpa?
Do you want to? Yeah,
that could probably be arranged.
What are you too old for? I'm curious. I want to know now what he thinks he's too old for.
I'm guessing boyfriend. You could be an internet dad.
He told us the other night his age, and I can't remember.
You can be an internet dad if you think you're too old for a girlfriend.
Wait, aren't you?
Some women like older men.
Aren't you Ann Hummingbird's internet boyfriend? I'm confused.
I don't understand how you're pairing all these people up.
I'm not. I'm not. They talk to each other. It's got nothing to do with me.
Right. No, I
just never looked at it like boyfriend and girlfriend. But we all have our few we talk to everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing with me and Jeremy was that, like, we're the big joker. We were the big, before Davey showed up, we were the big jokers in the lifeboat together. Like, we would play off each other.
Yeah.
And that's how it just started to become a joke that we called each other YouTube boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay.
It's not, you know.
Okay. Russ is Mischief's brother. I have to say, if I had an internet boyfriend, it would be him, because he cooks, and, you know,
he's quite attractive too. I'm just going to say it out loud.
Quite a cook. I always say, I'm like, when's my dinner?
Russ is a good-looking man.
He's in Indianapolis.
Oh, Shannon says you are boyfriend territory 7. So
see, you never know. When I started internet dating and actual internet dating, the 50 and older, I expected, because I was 50, right? But I did not expect all these 30-year-olds to be wanting to date over 40-year-olds.
Because that makes me think of Spanx, and I could never.
Yeah, but they don't.
No, I've got a
ladies their age are either just don't have enough with the whatever, or they want to get married, and so they're like,
Well, they want to marry an older woman. Why?
No. The 30-year-olds, the other 30-year-olds, like, they don't want to date people their own age or whatever, because most of the women are kind of like looking for a man to marry at that age. They realized, okay, time's ticking. I got to make a family. I got to, you know, and so they're like, that's too much pressure.
I'm going to run off and have fun with an old broad.
Well, they know themselves.
We do.
They know, you know, they know themselves. They know their mind. They, you know, we can have intelligent conversations.
Yeah,
you know, there's a lot to us. There's a lot to us.
Yeah, that's right. I am your sister-in-law, Lord Kiss Freak, because you're in a relationship with my twin.
Okay, we're gonna have to build an internet family tree, because it's getting a little complicated.
Well, they're complicated.
Yeah. See, he's got an uncle now. And
listen,
you can
have an uncle that's younger than you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah,
think about
really
the people
weird.
Lord Kiss Freak did time, and so he's gonna be my brother.
There you go.
He's my brother.
We're all family. It's just everybody just has to accept it. It doesn't matter how we're related. We're just family now.
And this is the, this is like the fun part that and it's just a
Yeah.
way to, it's a way to justify, being annoying in somebody else's life.
Oh, please. 57
anyway.
is not old.
No, I'm 51.
Geez, how many of us are 54 in here?
I'm 54.
I'm going to be 54 in
crap.
June.
I'll be 55 in September.
I'm 51. I'll be
Russ is in his
52.
55. Ooh.
Oh,
Chris is
Anne's got you beat.
47.
Anne has you beat, Mischief. She's older than you are.
Yeah, Russ is in his 50s, mid 50s, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that Russ is like our age.
Maybe 48 in 7 weeks.
You're
Okay. Yeah, I'll be 52, but not until the end of the year. So
7 weeks is pretty specific there, Kiss Free.
I know.
You're acting like you're. I'm gonna be 6 years old in 7 weeks.
Anybody have their calendar? I think we need. Is this 7 weeks from today? Because I know
7 weeks.
That's the sneaky way of saying, "Remember my birthday."
Yeah.
I don't want to tell people it's my birthday on my birthday to say happy birthday, but I'll say it now.
I don't think anybody here
May
knows.
4th. Is that 7 weeks?
She's the baby in the chat right now. If Izzy was here, she'd
Baby's
be the
41, right? And yeah, in our chat right here. Todd's 53. Gosh, yeah, we got the bevy of 50,
we are
Debbie
Gen
will be 55.
Gen X United.
Gen X.
Exactly.
Gen X United.
Gen X strong, buddy.
We are the best.
You're still a Gen Xer at 62.
Darn
Janet's
right,
laughing 63. You still
laughing in the grocery store.
She's just laughing in the grocery store. People might start looking at me. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think Spanx is 32.
Yeah, he's young.
I've talked to
him. Son, somewhere around there.
Yeah, he's definitely, and because Cedar's in her early 20s, right? Or 20s, something like that. Yeah, so
they're both such sweethearts. There was one night.
Yes.
There was one night in the Discord. There was some of us in a chat with both Cedar and Spanx, and it was wonderful. They're such lovely human beings.
They're really good kids, aren't they?
They are.
And again, I wasn't invited.
And Spanx,
listen, you go to bed early, okay?
They're good kids.
I do, but
I'm 2:30 in the morning.
Yes,
you go to sleep like a normal human. I don't understand sleep patterns. Yes, you were on that one.
That's hilarious.
Gen X.
Him and Izzy are the babies. I think you're saying Spanx. Oh, Spanx just turned 32 in February. Okay, so he is just.
So he's he's 92 then? Ow.
They were doing an interview with Gen Alphas. So these are the people who are like 7, 10.
Oh, did you send me that?
I might have, yeah. I probably did. It was hilarious. Oh, yes, I did. I sent it to you that morning.
Janet, you're already in the nut section. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We are the nut section.
It was hilarious listening to them talk because it was so different. Even my son is the generation above that. I guess he would be a Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Still a Gen Z. Yeah. He's on the very outside cusp of the Gen Zs. And
because so is Brielle, and she's going to be 16 this year.
The language that they use is still totally different. It's just amazing, like how it changes.
So does Kay got you saying bruh or bro? Because Brielle says it so much that I find myself being like bruh.
Yeah. I was for a while. He stopped doing that now. It's not one of his favorites. It was for a long time.
Everybody's bro now.
Yeah.
Bruh.
But
dude. It's better than dude. I never liked that word.
Dude.
Really? Yeah. And I would always say man instead of dude, and like it would irritate people. And I'm like, well, what's the problem, man?
Yeah, oh
Dude.
man.
Dude reminds me of
Man.
Fast Ridgemont High.
Dude,
Oh
man.
my gosh, yes. And then some people are like, where's my card, dude? And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, please, no. We
Yeah,
have way
that's
better
what I
movies
think
if
of
you're
when
gonna
I
use
hear
it.
that.
Come
Right?
on. Fast Times
Yeah.
at Ridgemont High, you've got to give that
Oh
as
gosh.
one of the
Love that
classics
movie.
of our
Right.
One of the funnest things I think I've ever seen was it was during the lockdown. They were doing readings of old movies. So like actors were doing readings, and they were doing Fast Time at Ridgemont High, and they had Jennifer Aniston reading Phoebe Cates' part, and Brad Pitt doing Judge Reinhold's part when his name was Brad. So you see
yeah.
it on YouTube, and it's really funny because she's like, "Hi, Brad. You always, I've always thought you were so hot." And it was just hilarious watching Brad Pitt's face as Jennifer Aniston saying this to him. We married to each other, and it was really cute. Oh, we've got some duders in here. That's all right. We forgive you.
I don't have a thing that I do right now.
What do you mean?
Well, I call everybody hun, and I don't mean to do that, but the people I talk to, I guess, and that are in my phone, and most people are hun for me. But it's because I care about all of you guys, you know.
How you doing, hun?
Yeah, it's all the ones that
All
you
right,
care
hun?
about.
Dude,
Yeah.
I say dude.
I used to say dude. Growing up, definitely. Dude was definitely a thing. But I never did any of you really get into Valley Girl talk?
No, that was not
no.
popular in Georgia.
Just the song.
So funny.
We would do it here to like just kind of joke on it.
Exactly. That's the same.
Like, oh my god.
We
Yeah,
did it
exactly. With
making
the spoon.
We did it making fun of them.
Yeah, exactly.
We had a girl in ninth
I
grade
was
that
really
moved from Hawaii to our hometown, and she was totally different. And she was shunned by everybody because she was that type Valley Girl type. And that's just how it was at that days.
Look
I
at
even
this.
named one of my cats after Frank Zappa, and she's
Sandy Wendy's from the Valley.
Sandy's from the Valley.
Yeah, I wonder.
Are you a Valley girl?
Did you have the talk? Did you talk the talk?
Did you like totally talk tubular? Oh my god.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, this is so nice. I lived in the 60s, was raised in the 70s, and partied in the 80s.
The best of all the decades,
there you go.
Free. I was born in 69, but I remember enough of the 70s. And the 80s was my high school years.
Yeah, 72, I was born, so.
Were you also created in 69, Kelley?
Yes, I was.
I was
my brother, too.
69, grew up in the 70s and 80s, partied in the 80s, and like totally gagged me with a spoon. Oh my God.
We're gonna have to be, Sandy, you're gonna have to get on here, and you don't have to show your face if you don't want to, but you might have to get on here and do a little Valley talk for us. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Have any of you?
My God. Becky, look at her butt. I like big butt. I cannot look.
So have any of you heard 19 something by Mark Willis?
I don't know who that is.
He's a country singer. The song is it's not really country, but it's talking about growing up in the 70s and 80s, and it is hilarious. And you will go, oh my God, yes, 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 yes.
One of my friends sent me that song. I did hear
it.
Find it and listen to it.
Oh, you have to
highlight
What's the name of it? I'll put it in my phone and I'll check it out.
Oh my gosh, look at
Oh, that's hilarious. I actually know where Canoga Park is.
What's the name
I,
of the song?
6666. That would be even worse. That's the only thing. The song is called 19 something.
All right.
It is.
Do you know
hilarious.
that do you know that the kids are talking about us, and when they talk about us, they say that we were born in the late 1900s. It's so disturbing that I have to laugh.
I know.
Oh dear, I've never thought of that way.
No, neither have I. That is
that is rather disturbing.
Yeah, we are the old people.
I know.
Well, for my Valley girls, for my Valley girls, I lived in Sherman Oaks, and I lived in Los Feliz.
Davy says she's got 66 in yours. What is this in your?
In
birthday?
your what?
In your birthday or what? Yeah.
Is it burned on your scalp like a
What
mold?
are we talking?
Like Damien? Why am I not surprised?
Surprised. It has to be Davy, right?
Nice to my sister.
I would really like to go to a good numerologist because the way my numbers were when I was born.
Oh, your social security number.
Oh.
Her social. But like I was born at 5:55 p.m. and my birthday is 9/12/69. All these threes. And
wow.
It's just really, and I know there's something to it because I can feel it like an astronomical pull and all that. And I bind so with the moon and the lunar process and all. But I would really like to have my numerology. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, my numbers mean absolutely
by
nothing.
somebody that really understands the readings.
I'm curious for the ladies. How many of you can feel the moon cycle, and how many of you cycle with the moon cycle or did cycle with the moon cycle? I'm just curious.
I never knew when the moon cycled, so I can't tell you if I
Well,
cycled
the full
with it.
moon. If you have trouble sleeping during the full moon resting, you feel more emotional, out of balance. It's
I'll have to talk to you guys. I've never followed it.
Technically women are the most powerful in the full moon.
Okay.
Yeah.
By these people who believe in all that stuff.
So the slide spiraling down fast.
Are you starting to get uncomfortable?
Sandy says, look up Gail
Minogue.
Minogue?
Oh, Minogue.
Is she related to Kylie Minogue?
That would be interesting. Now, see, I can't tell because my body hates me. Okay. Listen, my body absolutely, we were talking about this the other day, and Stacia gave me some good advice, but my body hates me. I got an IUD because I would have like 9 and 12-week periods.
Ugh.
Yeah. So now I have an IUD. You're not supposed to have a period with an IUD. Guess what?
Yeah, but you have that.
I still have it.
Yeah.
I still have it.
I had myself.
We're going into 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'll tell y'all something about women in prison. Is they all cycle
still going
at the same time.
I know. Tell me about it. I definitely pulled people into my cycle. That I did know.
Yeah, I did that too.
I was pretty strong. So anybody who was near me with
the
things,
women.
Oh my gosh, what was that like in prison, Kelly? There's a prison
it's horrible. And you're always going to have the nasty women that don't take care of themselves.
I was going to say that's one of the reasons I was afraid.
There's women like that.
Oh,
yeah. It takes all kinds.
Yeah.
One of the reasons
I was in menopause, and I had even not had a cycle for a long period of time. And when I got locked up, I had a cycle. It was a very brief one, but but it's still it was that strong of a pull. Being in that hormone setting.
I don't know why, but mom, I remember my mom being in menopause, and she had one out of the blue, and it was like, what the F?
Yeah. It's crazy how Oh, it's just crazy how our bodies feed off each other. It's energy.
And that's
And-
why I think that we should
and-
really look at that as a positive instead of a negative,
Yes.
and use that to. Debbie says, "I'm guessing the pill didn't help."
Yeah, no.
Another reason.
Shower.
Why would you
it's not
shower
the-
3 times a day?
it's
That's
not
to
the-
I would turn it into a
my
I would
skin
turn
would
into a
just be
alligator.
Yeah. I gotta take stuff as it is. I gotta slather myself in
I
lotion.
prefer baths. I'm with Tommy on that, on the shower and the baths.
Love
None of the
that.
baths are long enough
You
for my
appreciate
legs.
baths when you're not locked up. You sure do. You appreciate
Oh, I bet you
in
do.
water.
I bet.
Feels good to your bones and all, but
But
you
when's
sure do miss baths in jail.
What's the
Locked
first
up.
thing you did when you got out, Kelly?
Somebody took me out to eat.
I love that. So
Yeah,
many people do that.
it
They
was-
go.
I had-
yeah.
I was real lucky. There was they were starting a program in Cornelia, Georgia, right there at the prison called Circle of Hope. I was their guinea pig, and they helped me for the first 6 months of being incarcerated, from getting out of being incarcerated, get back on.
Oh, so you had
that
some
kind of
transition people.
Yeah, no, I had an advocate, and that's what she did. Is she advocated for me?
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
I did. It wasn't
not
the
official, but
Georgia
somebody you
Department-
had people
Georgia
helping you
Department
do
of
that.
Corrections had started this program with Circle of Hope of domestic violence. It was it was a new program. Like I said, I was the
Mhm.
first one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was very blessed because I really don't know where I was going to go. You
Mhm.
know, I didn't know. My sister-in-law had died while I was in there. She overdosed and died while I
I'm
was
so sorry.
locked up,
All right.
and lost our house and everything. But you know, that's a story for another day. But but what was we saying? I forgot. I lost it.
Oh, I was just
What
asking you what the first thing was you did when you
Oh,
got out.
she
Right.
took me to eat. And
Nice.
there I went in my general population prison clothes with my inside out sweatshirt so they didn't see Georgia Department.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And my khaki pants and took me to a Mexican restaurant.
Oh,
But then she took me shopping and bought me some clothes and stuff.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So
But
can you
that's what I
talk
want to
about-
do. I want to help people get back on
You
their
wanna-
feet.
I think
Yeah.
that. Well, I mean, that's the
Wonderful.
same thing that Sharon and I
Yeah.
are doing in our respective corners
Yeah.
of woman or personhood. Actually, we can just say personhood. But
Yeah.
being an advocate for people that are being released is really great because we don't really have that, and
No.
obviously we already know the prison systems don't believe in the rehabilitation part. They don't even do
No.
anything anymore.
It's just
You
a
have to be
revolving
really
door.
motivated if you want to learn anything when you're in prison.
Yeah. It's a revolving door.
Right. There's a lot of recidivism.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
Recidivism.
system where they set you up to fail because it's beneficial to them. If you
I'm s-
fail,
Yes.
well,
And I'm
yeah.
sorry, but there's no mosquito talk in the chat, please. I can't stand those things, and they love me. So, are you? Kelly,
Tommy
I
said
have another-
you become a
Sorry.
different person, and then you're supposed to be the other person that you were. You can't, So it's the that there isn't more help transitioning. I mean, I do know people who have gotten themselves charges so that they can go back in because they're so institutionalized when they've been in for a real long time. It's just more comfortable out here. I've got to try and get a job and pay for myself and do all
Yeah.
that. At least there, there's set rules, and I get 3 meals, and I get a shower, and I get medical if I need it. My
Yeah.
basics are covered, and I don't have to worry about it.
I know
makes
many
me feel
people
like that-
just like that.
Yeah,
My youngest son's father's in Georgia in prison right now. It's like his 7th or 8th time doing
Wow.
serious long time. He
Oh,
always
okay.
does anywhere from 2 to 6, 7 years. It's like his 6th or 7th time, and we're not really expecting him to live out, to ever come out and be again.
Right.
Will's expecting his daddy to probably pass in there this time.
one of
Because
the
he's
worst
not
things-
healthy, and he's but he cannot make it on the street. He cannot. He is so institutionalized. He cannot.
Yeah.
He functions better in there. The second he goes in there, he's got to hustle. He's
Yep.
got to, you know,
Yeah.
set. He knows people already there.
Mm-hmm.
He's set.
Yeah. It's
And out here on the street, he has to be a father.
yeah.
a
You've got
big
responsibilities. There's
Gotta
very
stay
few
sober.
responsibilities.
You know, yeah.
Wasn't it in Shawshank with that older gentleman that got out and he had
And
been
killed himself. Yeah.
broke my heart. I mean,
I know.
and a lot of that movie broke my heart, but that character was so lovely. And then he got out and
Yeah, Brooks. His name was Brooks.
Brooks,
And
yep,
that's
Brooks.
my
Mm.
all-time.
And then he
Y'all, that is
wrote
my
Brooks was
movie.
here on the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my movie right there. Shawshank Redemption.
Do you still find yourself having issues with being out now that you've been in prison? That it's different now?
I feel more uncomfortable in crowds. I really do. I used to go to concerts and be, you know, down in the pit, elbow to elbow,
Right.
right up to the time before I got in trouble and got sent to prison. But now I can't do it. I went Saturday to serve beer at that Shamrock Parade.
Mm-hmm.
And I was panicking till I got to the beer truck. I was surrounded by all these people.
Yeah.
And I was constant. You know, but you learn to do that. But I was okay once I got to the beer truck and it was behind me.
Right.
And there was a big truck behind me. So yeah, I noticed there's things about me, just like me being content staying in this room all the time.
Right.
I hide food in a box in my room because my roommate eats my food. But that's something you do in jail, is have your store in there with you. And I just, you know, I look at myself and I think, yeah, I'm institutionalized to a point.
Yeah. Well,
It changed me.
You had a relatively short prison sentence, right?
Yes, I did 8 months in prison, and then altogether, if you added up all my jail time, all my jail stints together, probably 4 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
prison is
and that's
prison.
county time.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. 8 months in prison, and look at the things that came out of that already. You know, I mean, there's jail, and there's a certain amount of institutionalization with jail as well. But it's just so much more in prison, and to see and to think about, that's only 8 months, and what comes out of you, and the way your brain thinks, and now even being out, what you're still comfortable with. It's just, it tells you how much. I wonder at 6 months or 3 months, at a month, how are people different? How have they, how much have they changed?
I don't think anybody does prison time for a month. I think that's
no. I just say,
some
at a
people
month.
get sent for just a short period of time. It just depends on when they pick you to send you and you pick to leave. There's somebody that got turned right back around after 3 weeks in Georgia prison system.
Oh, wow.
They was just in diagnostics a few weeks and got out. So it can be done. It's few and far between, They
I've done 1 month,
but it can be done.
as well, but how?
And now I'm curious too how different it is in Canada.
Well, and since it's a shorter period of time too, I'm really interested in say, Chris, do you want to come on?
I'd be happy to pop up.
Oh my gosh! Yay!
If you talk about her, she will come.
Exactly. Okay, Cosmic Christy. Jenn has a question for you.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
You just got here.
No, you have a question for her. She can write it down.
Cosmic, could you do me a favor and add my channel to the list of channels on our Discord server? Are you happy, Sharon?
I am very.
Well, I feel a little lightheaded. So.
Okay, well, you did good.
Thanks.
You did good.
Well, thank you, my love. Some charges last you 30 days in jail. I wonder if it's like a better system in Canada because it's not privatized. I have a ton of questions. I could do
Well,
this.
also, if he said he just did relatively short stints as well, and I'd be curious to say, okay, he said he did a month stint. How did you feel after that month? What kind of
Right.
what kind of changes did you notice in yourself coming back out again? That's definitely the types of questions I have. So,
And can we talk about how proud we are of Tommy for going to the Tucson federal prison that day?
oh yeah, just standing outside of it, I gotta imagine that.
I can't imagine.
You could see him shaking.
Yeah, I know. I could see it.
Yeah.
So we rode by the prison I was in not long before I moved up here, and I just had a gut wrenching twist in my stomach. Just because you feel it for that brief moment of riding by there. You can actually feel the feeling you had when you was in there, and then that's from trauma.
One of the reasons that I'm just so amazed by his strength to do that is that I'm planning this year. I'll be going to I'm gonna go to Minneapolis because Prince. But since I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna go to the hospital, and then I'm also gonna drive to Ann Arbor where my second program was. And the really cool thing about that place though is that now it's a family homeless shelter. And I can't think of a better way to use that building.
Yeah.
Is the place in Minneapolis still running?
Yeah. Is the hospital still? Okay.
No, it's not still a juvenile hospital.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure what they're using it for anymore, but I am still flabbergasted that I have my medical records and there I have it open on another tab, and I am gonna read these because I need to find out
Fill in the
who I have,
blanks.
like where I have to send the request for Alpha Health,
Yeah.
But no, neither one of them are running as TTI programs anymore. I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, very much so.
But the umbrella companies still exist. So I am part of I put my name in as a part of this class action lawsuit. And so I'll be doing a deposition for that.
Awesome.
And
I threw the link up, guys. If anybody wants to join us, it doesn't just have to be Lord Kiss Freak, although we have questions. We have questions. It's not privatized up there. We know, and we want to know differences. But if anybody else wants to join us up here, I threw the link up there. You're more than welcome to. I can have a bunch of people on, and we're just chatting right now. We're just shooting the breeze and talking about our different things. And I'm so excited. I mean, Jenn's channel, you started your channel and then just dominoes fell into place. I mean, who would have known that the program would have gotten out right then,
I didn't even know it was coming out.
Exactly.
I had no idea.
Now you've got Meg's book. Now that title, that was from Meg's book you were reading, right?
No, you're thinking of I See You Survivor. That's Liz.
Oh, okay. That was that one. Got it.
Meg's book, hang on, I'm going to get Meg's book right now, her title right now, because I've just got so much in my brain. Let me go. Thank you for bearing with me, y'all. Her book is called Becoming Unsilenced, Surviving and Fighting the Troubled Teen Industry. And this is what it looks like. May 7th. Oops.
Awesome.
That's her Instagram page. And I'm very excited for this book. This is the CEO of Unsilenced. This is our advocacy group. And our aim is to shut down all of the... Oh, thank you, Christine. You're so awesome.
La 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 la. Look what happens when you actually ask people things.
Closed mouths don't get fed.
I'm so aware of this, y'all.
And that's why I got my hands on your back. I'm
You
just a
see me
permanent
like
push.
cringing over here.
We're all gonna keep encouraging each other to keep
No.
And
keep
so that's the
at it,
wonderful.
and you know,
That's the wonderful thing about this is, we've all got strengths and weaknesses, and where I fall down sometimes, and you guys, pick me up and tell me, you need to do this or you need to do that, and it just kind of, it helps me so much. And this channel, I have no idea what will happen eventually with this channel. I would love to go every day. I would love to be able to monetize it and just have it make enough money that I can survive. I just have me.
Yeah.
My son's going to be on his own
On.
pretty soon. Trouble. Uh-oh.
Hi, guys.
Misha?
Hello.
Wait, who is
it
that?
working?
Is that Misha?
No.
Who is
Somebody renamed themselves.
Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, oops. It's me, Dana.
Oh, there's.
I was just
I'm
going
like,
to say
I
it's
know-
Davy, but she's got her thing right
I'm
there.
sitting here and I'm like, I know this voice. I know this voice.
Well,
Well,
I
she
don't know
was-
what I'm doing though, so.
Well,
Sorry,
you're
guys.
neither do
you're
I.
doing well.
But
You
you're
just don't
doing
have your
everything
camera
but showing-
function on.
Yeah, you're
That's
doing
all.
everything but showing your face, chicken.
Well, yeah, well, I look like crap.
Well, I've seen your face. There she is.
Oh,
my
look
beautiful.
at her.
I'm
There's
in the
my
garage.
girl.
Yay.
Anne's here. See, if you
Oh,
talk about people,
hi.
it's gonna show up.
Exactly. Hi, Anne. How are you doing?
Love you, Anne. I hope you're feeling okay, sweetie.
Absolutely.
Now you're outside, Dana. Oh, now you're gone.
now she's
Left.
gone.
Way to go, Slick.
All right. Well, she's, she graced us with her presence for just a
did.
tad, which is lovely.
She likes to just give us little bits.
Snippets, right? I asked for a selfie the other day, and she's like, "I look horrible," and she gave me one. I'm like, "Oh my god, you beauty queen!"
Yes, we're talking about you, Anne. We're talking. There you. What did you do?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
You're
But I'm-
doing very well.
Thanks, guys. I'm trying.
What's the temperature there?
60s, I think.
Oh crap!
Nice.
It's like
I'm not
9
moving back
here.
to Nashville, though. Through that.
Sorry. I had to get
Did
the dog
you-
outside.
Dana, did you hear about Riley Strain?
Yeah. I heard about
Is
that last night.
Can I ask you something?
No.
Well, I'm going to anyway. So,
I know. I'm just being sarcastic.
when did this become such a regular thing that they're pulling bodies out of the Cumberland?
It's quite regular.
Is that homeless people normally?
Could be
Or,
anybody, really. I mean, it's
I-
a lot
I
of
just
people.
There 6 years ago. What?
Well, there's a lot of people. I mean, they're
There's too
not
many people. They just keep falling in the river because there's too many of them.
kind
I
of.
think it's a good dumping ground, actually. I've
A lot of
known a lot
homeless
of
live
cases.
along
that
There
that
are
they've
a lot
told
of
people-
homeless people in Nashville. 100%.
You'd be
Yeah.
surprised, though, even the ones that are on drugs and don't have good footing, they don't fall in like the
Yeah.
people that are out there drinking as teenagers or go out
Yeah.
kayaking and don't wear a life jacket.
Right.
So it's
Right.
mostly like accidents.
So there is an encampment along the river now?
Sandy, your mic is
There's
muted.
more than that. There's one on the river and there's one
There you go. Nope.
Well, I know
It's
about the
muted
one
in
again.
by the
Hermitage.
fort. Well, yeah, I know about
You
the one
took
by
it off,
the
but then
fort.
put it back on again, Sandy.
I didn't know that there was one by the river now.
So if you want to talk, you'll have to take that off.
Yeah, there's a big one by the river now. It's huge.
Clearly.
Sorry, I'm freezing.
Well, you're freezing in the 60-degree weather, are you?
Oh yeah.
I'm a
Give me a
Cali
break.
girl at heart, y'all. Okay, I'm from
20
California.
something. It's 36 degrees here and it's been snowing for 2 days.
That's
No,
nice weather.
Ew.
Oh my
And your
god.
God.
boyfriend is in 16 degrees Fahrenheit.
yeah, I just saw that. That's no bueno.
Yikes.
I love
I'm
you, Anne.
definitely not going to visit.
Not until August.
Yeah,
You might get 60s then, right?
You can come up here in June and I'll take you to Mackinac Island.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we-
willing to go up
The
there.
land
I
of
mean,
no cars.
we told take you to Lake Michigan. I'm only an hour away.
Yeah,
So
she's close to Lake Michigan.
yeah.
Whew.
yeah. I guess she's got some kind of somebody with a boat. I know that.
Oh, I have a friend with a boat.
Yeah, yeah. She was like, what was the stipulations for that?
I mean, I have some
Some
kayaks.
benefits.
Benefit? Did you say benefit?
I did.
But only you have to give the benefits, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
no, not me. What?
I would imagine if I just asked nicely, he would
Yeah,
allow,
we're
he
just
would
gonna-
he would do
gonna
it.
go ahead and just make this a party.
There you go.
All
Woohoo!
right.
I'm
Or I
not
can
that
make
cool,
back up.
guys.
I don't know. He
Just
just
go
got
bu-
buff, guys. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, he lost all his weight that he had in the
Oh,
summer, and he got buff, and he had a
I like that.
hair transplant. So he's all
I want one for my room.
he's like 56.
You need
So
a disco ball? I'll
but
send
you
you a
wouldn't know
disco
it.
ball.
I
I
like
actually
it.
have one. My husband used to DJ.
I
Oh,
have two of
cool.
them. They
I
sell
had
them at
one when I was a
$5.
teenager.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
I've got
Go
one
to
in my
roller
loft.
skating rink.
I have
Yeah.
none. I think it would drive my cats bonkers.
Oh, my cats love it. They chase it. They chase the circles around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
so did anybody else go roller skating?
Oh my gosh, yes. I
I
was a
loved
big
it.
time
Oh
roller skater.
yeah, like back in the day,
Yeah.
absolutely. I loved
Yeah.
it. It was the only thing I
It's
could
coming
do.
back. It's coming back so hardcore now. I love it.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I know, but why did they bring mustaches back? Seriously,
Ew, I don't want
guys.
to talk about it.
I know.
I don't like 80s porno mustache.
No.
No, I'm
You
with
don't
Ow,
like
there.
chicken.
Magnum
Wow.
PI.
We're talking about you because we love you, Anne.
Sorry, it's too cold out there, guys.
It's absolutely what we were doing.
Anne asked why we're talking about her.
Yeah,
So I said, it's because we love you.
Wait,
Yeah.
in a good way.
exactly. We were just talking about people who weren't here, who we like, and all that kind of stuff. And your name popped up.
There's our work history.
Oh.
Woohoo! Hey, Chris.
Hey.
We got
Hey,
Sandy
Look
back too. This
This
is
is great.
awesome.
Who's in the middle now? We got Sandy in
Sandy.
there all quiet.
Yeah. Well, sure. Mike is off,
Sandy,
but you can
come
talk,
here.
Sandy.
Wait, I'm going
You
to
wanna
play
say hi to my
harmonica so
boyfriend?
you talk.
My mic's on.
Look.
Oh,
there's my
okay.
sister
There she
and my
is.
boyfriend.
Yeah,
Say
look,
hi to your
husband,
competition.
husband, meet boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then there's Jen.
Oh, and I'm her twin
There's
sister.
Sharon.
Yeah.
And there's
We were the
Kelley.
sisters. And there's Kelly.
Oh yeah,
You
Kelley
can't
wave.
see.
My lady is
Oh,
not the
I'm
greatest.
not the whole computer back.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, I'm not the whole computer back. Laptop holder.
So
thing.
I do want to, Chris, while you're up here, I do want to real quick ask you. So did you notice any changes in your behavior, institutionalization type of thing after you were in prison for those shorter stints?
Not really at first.
Mm-hmm.
The last time though, there was a huge change.
Was that a longer?
Well, it was 90 days, but
Oh,
done on
still
weekends.
3 months.
No, it was done on
Oh,
Year.
that took you a while.
weekends. Yeah. And also my daughter was born while I was doing that time, and
Oh,
So-
Geez.
there was a big change when that was done.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah, I would imagine.
reckon that would
Absolutely,
be-
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
It's still such a short amount of time,
Yeah.
but
But-
when you go, I imagine because your routine becomes so, when you're doing weekends, it's like you've got your week, and then you get there and you do your that you're doing for the weekend, and then you go back out and do and then it repeats, right?
Basically for a year it's work and jail.
Yeah. So that makes the sentence feel even longer, didn't it?
Oh,
I
yeah.
would imagine
Yeah.
anyway. Wow. That's nobody's ever too old for anybody. That's we've discussed this now.
Oh,
There is no
not
too
this
old.
she is
again.
not here for that. Be
I know.
fair.
I'm telling her. There's
Yep.
no too old. We are definitely older, younger, doesn't matter. Whatever floats your boat.
Whatever tickles your pickle.
Yeah. Or whatever just happens to work out because, we're dealing with a limited amount of people.
Well,
Sorry, guys. I have to make coffee at the same time.
Dana, your mom's leaving. She's buffering.
Aw. Well,
Not
she's
buffering you.
probably got other stuff to do anyways.
Well, she's a very busy and important person.
Oh,
Right?
She manages her mischief.
She can't manage me, poor thing.
No,
I should
nobody
have
can.
came with a waiver.
I love all my sisters. I never had one, and they're so great.
Oh, I
We're
had
pretty-
one. She
we're
was
pretty awesome.
awful.
We're a pretty awesome group of people. I hate
Never
to
had
say
it. This is great.
I have half of one.
you have half. I have half of a sister and half of a brother too.
And this is only
Not
proving
both
my
in one, I
theory.
That I know of, I should say.
Not a 2-in-1, I hope.
No. Each of my parents had another kid after me because they were like, man, this first one was a dud. So they each had another kid.
Jesus.
But I was 13 when my mom had my sister, and I was 3 months shy of 18 when my dad had my brother.
Oh, wow. That's a huge gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18
Yet
years.
again, though, guys, there's only 3 years between me and my brother, and we could not be more different. People in
There was
school
5
did not
between
believe
us,
we were
yeah.
related.
See,
Well,
Aunt,
and-
that's not too much older.
I guess
No.
my sister's my half sister. We had different dads.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I have halves, but I don't really consider. I don't
don't
have a
think many
relationship
people
with my
just
brother,
go-
but my sister, I don't consider her a half.
Well, she looks nothing like me, though.
Same.
So it confused people because she has straight hair, and then, of course, mine's curly.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
so-
bad for my mom because neither one of her daughters looks anything like her.
For who?
My mom.
Oh, your mom. I don't feel bad for my
Because
mom.
she has
She gets
two-
everything.
She has 2 daughters with 2 different dads, and neither one of us look like our mom.
Oh, jeez. And you have 4 sisters? Wow.
All currently single.
Wow.
Anybody, if you're interested.
There you
I guess.
go.
I think we
Seventh,
might have
his
just
wife
made a
was
love
9 years
connection.
older.
We just made a love connection.
There you go. Oh, my Lord.
Okay, I
this is
can't see
hilarious.
chat. What is happening?
Oh,
Anne has 4 sisters. And they're
No,
all
I meant the
single.
love connection. I want to know the deep-
Ann and 7.
Oh,
They're friends. Don't get it twisted.
Oh.
But we're just teasing around.
I got excited. I was like, oh.
Yeah, they're saying
I don't think
this.
we've made a real love
Too
connection
old.
yet.
No.
Well, no, I think that Chris loves me. I just keep telling him that it's not a good idea.
Enough that you can come in, Cosmic. You can come in, Cosmic. Please come in, Cosmic.
Oh, I love Cosmo.
Oh, absolutely.
love
Do you have the... I'll copy the invite here again.
No rumors, Anne. I would never let anybody spread rumors about you.
I would.
Well, I would have to drive down and hurt you then.
I'm kidding.
I know you
There
are.
we go.
See,
Although
there-
I
she
did have
started-
fun with
She
Heifer.
started her own rumors. She just said they're planning to meet up. So don't say anybody else started those rumors, Anne, because you're the one that said it. Nobody mentioned it. Ooh, Cosmic's in the green room.
There's a green room?
Well, backstage. We're just waiting for Sharon to let her in. What happened? Yes, we know you're friends, Anne. I'm just teasing. Am I gonna get an angry phone call when this is over?
Yes, call her angry.
She calls me angry all the time, but not angry at me.
Oh, well, that's different. I wanted you in trouble for something.
Good luck.
Right? I'll give it time.
I don't get in trouble anymore.
Well, that's a good
Only
thing.
good trouble. I don't get in bad trouble anymore. Sharon, what happened? We can't hear. Can anyone hear her?
Again.
What did you do, woman? Nope.
Nope.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be the
Sounds
mute
like a
button.
Verizon commercial.
Oh, there she is. Now I can add her. I didn't see her before.
There
she
she
is.
is.
Woo-hoo.
Hello, darling.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, mate. I wish I could talk like that. I
Just take a
do.
little
I'd
practice.
give anything to have an Australian or a British accent.
Me too.
I'd rather sound like
Australian's
you.
really hard. I can.
I
do
try
British
to
really
talk
good.
like that, but it's awfully hard with my accent.
I love
You just
your
gotta
accent,
not-
Kelly.
Move your
Ugh.
mouth much. Yeah, I'd rather talk like you. We all sound the same over here.
I feel like I belong in the backwoods.
I could do everybody's accent. I'm an accent.
Should I
Like,
take
like
that
to-
personally? Literally,
No,
I'm
No,
awful at
with
accents.
woods all behind me.
my country. I
Yeah.
just sound so
I know.
country and hick, you know.
No.
And
No,
I
you
talk
just
like this.
Southern. You've got you just
Yeah,
Southern.
it's just southern.
Look at what Cosmic has on her desk.
Ooh,
Oh,
she's
she's
so
got-
Skater
cool.
girl.
Oh, I can't tell. I had
Skater
white ones
girl.
with blue, royal blue
Those
wheels.
are gorgeous.
Those
Oh,
are
those are
pretty.
nice. I
That's
never.
Yeah,
fancy.
they're
I
Are they
did have
iridescent?
No, I want the iridescent ones. The leather was too tough, like it wasn't
Oh.
soft enough. So these ones are a bit. These are soft.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah, they're like classic, and they've even got the stopper.
Yeah.
Although for some reason I
Oh.
thought they had the stopper on the back, but that must have been the.
I never
the
had a
rollerblades.
stopper on the back of mine.
I had
Well,
one
so-
roller incident where I was roller skating down a hill and the wheels popped up like this, and then this is my tailbone that went thunk on those back wheels. Yeah,
Ooh.
those
Oh.
take your breath away type of thing, and it
That
was
made
like
me hurt.
yeah, and I was like trying to get home, but you
Mhm.
know you're on. I took them off and was trying to walk home.
Oh.
I got the
That was
speed
my
wobbles.
only-
My first day without training wheels on my bike. I got the speed wobbles going down a hill. Went face planted and scraped all the side of my body. I got like a month off school, so that was all right.
Oh, wow. I never hurt myself skating, but I sure used to go 2 or 3 times a week. I
Janet,
remember-
go ahead and try, and I'm not sure how many people I can have up here, so we'll find out.
Isn't it up to
I know with
10?
StreamYard you can have
And-
9. Oh, okay.
Oh, 9. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we can
Yeah, it's
start.
9. Yeah. This one's
I'm gonna have
cool.
to drop
This is
out.
different.
So yeah,
And I wish
pop
you
up.
could start feeling better. I really wish I wish that they would figure it out so you could start feeling better. It's driving me crazy.
Absolutely.
Do we have to make a trip to California? We'll do it.
I'm just going to
Road
finish
trip. Who's going?
Yeah.
Don't worry. She does that all the time.
No, I don't have her yet.
Oh, I was just talking about Cosmic. No, it's like, don't worry
Oh.
about her screen. She does that all the time.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not worried about that. I was just looking for Janet to see if
Oh.
she had popped up.
Damn it, Janet. I love you.
That's not exactly what I would yell, but okay.
You were at the MRI till 11:30 last night. What was? Oh my god!
Were they doing a comparative one?
Trying to figure out why she's still feeling like she's supposed to be better by now.
Yeah, seriously.
Crazy. Now I'm starting to talk like Kelley. I do this. I fall into accents very easily.
I found the southern one only because I have family from North Carolina and West Virginia and stuff. So yeah.
Well, that Virginia, where she is in Virginia, it's a very, very deep Southern accent, but I love it.
I think they talk like Northerners here in
Who?
Virginia.
In
Oh,
Virginia,
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they talk Yankee to me. I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, yeah.
So do you think
Everybody
that Sharon
I'm
and I
around talks Northern to me.
do you think that we all?
Hey,
Yeah.
y'all talk Northern to me.
Yeah.
I can
Said to me,
tell
I'm
you're
like
funny.
Eastern.
I don't.
I
I
see,
don't
I
have
like it,
to.
though.
I can talk like
enjoy-
you. That ain't no big
I
deal.
like hearing Bostonian accents, and
Mhm.
I love all types of accents. I hate mine, and I feel like I sound like an idiot to other people. But
No, you
but
just
I
yeah,
sound like an
living
idiot.
here,
No,
I
you just
just
sound southern. That's all.
living here. People say this is the South, and I just think no, it's not. It is not. They don't have any traits of the South here. I don't know why they even say that.
No, my friend Ruth lives in Roanoke, and she didn't talk like that either. But what? But West Virginia, and North Carolina, South
Yeah.
Carolina, Georgia,
Yeah.
parts of Florida, which cracks me up. See, look, Anne says she loves your accent.
Exactly.
Oh, well, so many people in Florida are snowbirds. You
Very-
Oh,
know,
for sure.
there's
Very
so
much
many
so.
transplants. But my best friend, one of my best high school friends, she lives in Port St. Lucie. She's a school teacher. And do you know that she has picked up that Floridian accent? She no longer talks like she did in high school at all,
Hmm.
but she's picked up that Floridian, and her sister did it too.
It's funny because if Florida is such a transient state.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of what Florida accent sounds like. I mean, I've been to Florida a bazillion times, but
It's
Depends where in Florida you're talking about.
yeah, it is. It's
Oh,
where
man,
you're
that's-
from. And Valerie's down there
Yeah.
around Port.
The only thing I know about Florida is they got a lot of strange men there.
Yes.
Always a
Yes.
Florida man doing something.
Janet,
Janet! Look,
Janet.
Hi,
good to
everybody.
see
we're
you.
so happy to see you.
Well, you know, I just love and appreciate all of you so much. And it's so
Aw.
nice to say hello face to face.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been to the grocery store. I was at Starbucks.
Oh man,
I've
you've been
taken you
taking us
guys with me
everywhere.
all over this snowy place.
Oh my.
Ew. Where are you?
Canada, Alberta.
Oh, that's right.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
How beautiful.
Yeah,
I've been to Toronto.
I love Toronto.
I grew up. That's kind of my hometown. Is right outside of Toronto, about 1 hour. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
London?
beautiful
Alberta
there.
now. Yeah, well, you know, it's beautiful. So many places have so many beautiful things. But it's just nice to say hello. I've chatted with you guys so much, you know, with my fingertips, and taken all your words to heart, and just treasured your stories, and this is really unlike any other kind of connection I've ever had, and I have to say it's so damn meaningful. Really.
Yeah.
It really is. And just to be able to just sort of say things that happened without getting that blank sort of like, oh my God, stare from people, you know, is really unique. It really is unique. And we all have something to bring to the table to help each other, and help each other find our way through all the things that we've been through.
Yeah.
You know? And anyway, just wanted to share the love.
It's amazing the connections that we've made through here. I just are so deep, so quick.
Yeah,
because we've so much that trauma aspect. I think it's just, you just get it. And you know, I don't think that there's been a person who's come through that we've not gotten along with that at all. And you know,
right.
Misha's back, and
yeah.
Piano. Hang on.
Still migrating, but better. Well, that's good. Well, at least it's better.
Beautiful.
Oh, you can still see my flamingo. You can still see my flamingo. On the
Oh,
yeah.
Cosmic is in her beautiful palatial home.
Look at that.
Hey, with my table on my table.
I think I've seen that home before.
Oh, look at us. We're in the same house. I gotta
have
find you.
I have.
We
too,
can have
now
dinner
that you
together
said
when we're
that.
done. Or breakfast.
Now
for
I'm
you.
beginning to wonder if some of the people I watch, if they're not using filters.
Yeah,
people
more than likely.
totally use filters. Absolutely.
If
some
it's a
of 'em
really,
need
really
to-
nice house, more than likely.
Yeah, 'cause
Yes.
some of them.
Well, I'm
holy
63 and I'm
cow, they don't
completely
even have
unfiltered.
nothing.
Yes.
Love it. Well, you look amazing, Janet. It's awesome to see your face.
Yes.
Oh,
Janet,
Yes,
cancer
I love
beat me
you.
to the curb twice, but I'm still here. So
no, you have beaten cancer twice.
yeah, I have.
That, you're a survivor of a lot of things. And
You're a warrior.
yeah, Janet, I have to say, I got the black belt comment again the other day.
Oh, did you really? Like, oh, I better be careful of you.
Exactly what he said.
And Sharon and I are both black belts in Taekwondo, so we get this sort of thing where nobody really realizes that it's an art as much as
Yeah.
sport, but it's
Mhm.
not. Nobody goes into it thinking I want to beat people up, right?
A few.
I went to karate
I
thinking
would.
that
Like
I was
competitor.
bullied.
Big
But
competitor.
karate's more of karate's a dance. Like, you start off with the white belt dance and you move up through to the black belt dance. Everything's a dance. So I think,
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
similar to Taekwondo. Taekwondo is just Korean, whereas karate is Japanese. And
Yeah.
so but also once you get your black belt, you never lose it. So, I could have gotten mine when I was 10 and I'm still going to call myself a black belt.
But yeah.
So,
When you go back to start training, you start where you left
kitty
off.
cat.
So
Look
who
at the
gave you
baby.
Oh,
Hello,
Kitty.
baby.
I did relearn everything as well, though, below what I was. That
who
took a while.
gave you the comment, Sharon? Who threw the comment your way?
Um,
A feller.
yeah, somebody I met a couple days ago. I don't remember. It wasn't anybody I was with. It was just, I was speaking to the person I was with, and it just kind of came up, and person's like rabbit ears.
Anne makes a really good
Talking
point.
to you.
Anne makes a great point. She says, "Isn't that why they call it martial arts?"
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, it is.
Right.
And yeah, believe it or not, the thing that drew me to it was what made me want to take ballet lessons as a kid, because it's when you're doing say it's so graceful and beautiful, and the part of me that loved ballet made me want to take martial arts.
That's the same with me in karate, because I was a dancer, so it just was seemed natural to take up karate rather than something like, I don't know,
Totally.
other people go in a gym and that's boring, so I'd rather do something that's interesting. But there's the Brazilian one bit too. That's very dance like.
Oh, the
Jiu-jitsu.
They all
Jiu-jitsu.
seem to.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
I reckon they're all fascinating to watch.
Yeah, and just the controlled.
Muay Thai, which is
Yeah.
with Taiwanese, or I forget where that one's from, but yeah, Muay Thai. That's very really interesting to watch them.
Yeah,
as
my
well.
uncle was a black belt. He was a triple black belt. Like he had the.
Yeah, so he's third dan.
Yeah, he was right up top. He was as far as I don't know. I was 9 the last time I saw him. But the one thing I did used to know that he could do was he could stand in a doorway and put his foot on the he could have one foot on the ground and the other foot up there, and I'd be like, my uncle can kick the top of the door. Walking around as a 9-year-old, my uncle's so cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool,
Absolutely.
Well, don't forget Jeet Kune Do, which was Bruce Lee's style of martial arts too.
Both him and his
My favorite thing is
son.
when Brandon Lee, that was pretty sad. But you know how there's so many jokes about Chuck Norris? There's not many.
Yeah.
There's not any about Bruce Lee, because Bruce Lee was no joke.
Bruce Lee was absolutely no joke.
Mm-hmm.
I still use, and my favorite thing he ever said was "be like water."
Yes, be like water.
So
I love that too.
yeah, so sometimes in certain passwords I use "be like water" and then I add some numbers after that. So yeah, "be like water." When he said that, I just like, whoa, it just really meant something to me. Yeah,
There's kind of a similar saying in Buddhism, I think, something about water. because
Really?
water is one of the strongest things on, because water
Yeah.
carves cannons and,
Right.
you know,
Right.
creates
Yeah.
life. So it's one of the strongest, but also gentlest things on the
Right.
planet.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the four
Something
elements
like that.
of Earth.
Yeah.
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 Cut right through. It's amazing. I started when I was 9, but it's because I was living in a place that was horrendous, and it was just offered at the Y. Somebody just came in to do a little couple week thing, and I happened to be really good at it because I had such long legs, and
Oh yeah.
so I was really good at it, and so then I just continued it, and I loved it, and it was like the one thing that I found that I was good at besides reading. It's like there's an activity that I'm actually good at. And so yeah, I loved it, and I stayed with it ever since.
My kids got me into it. They begged and begged and begged to take it because their friend in school was taking it. And I said, no, you're going to take piano lessons. So horrible.
I played in my piano.
They didn't want to take piano. Now I'm taking piano, but they did not want to take piano. So I said, well, okay, we'll finish this year of piano, and in September, if you still want to take it, we'll try it. So September came and they still wanted to do it. So I took them to the dojang, and they tried a few free classes and they wanted to do it. So I signed them up, and they were 10 at the time. And it wasn't long before I said, I think I want to do that too. So I did, but they have never looked back. They're 25 years old now. And
Yeah, I was going to say, tell them where they are now.
well, they're testing for their 4th degree black belt soon, and they're both in university. They train every week. They've moved cities, but luckily one of their favorite masters moved to that city and opened a dojang there. And my one daughter is a part-time assistant instructor. So she's loving it, going to school, and that's her part-time job. So
It's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
loves it. Yeah. So it's been part of our lives for 15 years because it started when they were 10 and they're 25 now. And we were there 5 nights a week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A lot.
Yeah.
So,
When I was training, I was, when I got back into it again, when I was 30, just after I finished law school, I was helping the instructor put things together and run the administrative side because he was not a business person. So I moved him up from an 800 square foot place to a 3,200 square foot place so he could actually, grow the business. And so I ran all the administrative stuff and set up all the tournaments and, all of that kind of stuff, and did all the merchandise and then was training on top of it. So it's like I went from work to the dojo and back.
Yeah.
That's what you do for forever. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
you did this on top of a full-time job?
Yeah.
Wow.
I did it in the evening. I loved it. So, I
But
get out at
that's
5.
almost a full-time job in itself.
Yeah. I had an hour drive too. I had an hour commute.
Wow.
So it was,
Well, come
I
in.
think Misha's
then.
trying to come in.
Yeah,
Oh,
Misha
okay.
wants. You know what? I'm going to drop off because I can't sit here anymore.
Go lay down on your heating pad, girl.
Yeah, I'm going to bring the computer into my bed. I can't. I love you guys.
And I have to go now too. I have to go.
Okay.
So nice
Kisses
to meet you all.
everyone.
Absolutely.
Yes,
We'll
Dana.
talk
See ya.
soon. We'll definitely talk soon. Bye,
Yes,
Janet.
definitely. Bye. I
Janet.
just have to figure out how to leave. What button do I put here?
Hit the
found-
leave.
I know you, that's me.
We're all figuring it out.
Have everybody have a great evening. Bye.
You too.
Bye-bye. Okay, there we go. There's Michelle.
Oh my gosh.
Misha.
Everybody left as soon as I come on.
No, they're still listening. They're still listening.
Yeah.
I
Who
just
was
wanted to say Janet.
She's still hearing you, so that's cool. Oh, Davey's back. Yay. Woohoo.
Well, I had no idea. I thought you were rounding out.
Well, we kind of
Getting ready
were,
to
and
go
then
off, and I come back on and here you guys all are. I was like, that's awesome.
yeah, we
I
were
missed the
just
tummy bit. I was asleep.
we just are kind of yabbing now. So that's what we've just been doing for the past hour. Just yabbing, getting to know each other a little bit. So it's been
That's
kind of what
the most
really
important
nice.
thing we
I've
can
really
do.
enjoyed it.
I have
But
as
you know what? That's
well.
the most important thing that we can do.
Right.
Whether we share our trauma, whether we share our anything else, just getting connection and talking to each other about nothing. Things that don't even matter for nothing matters. So that
Exactly.
really
We're
made me
all a
happy.
bunch of broken people that
Exactly.
need love and encouragement. And we've all been broken down by the people in our lives that we just we can heal each other.
I saw a thing
We're a
the other
bunch of
day
kintsugi.
going on Broken. It
A
said
bunch of kintsugi.
broken crayons still color.
Yes, they do.
Hey, you know what?
I love
Do
that.
you guys ever do this whenever y'all were in school? Did you take the wax paper and the crayon shavings and put the crayon shavings in the wax paper and then put it in the microwave?
Yes.
I love
Yes,
that's one of
we
my
used to
favorite
iron it.
art mediums.
My mother did not allow anything that was not food inside the microwave.
No, same with mine. But we used to iron it. So we used to make butterflies by ironing.
Yeah.
You fold it in half,
Butterflies.
you iron it, and you open it up, and it's a
Oh.
butterfly.
That's
Yep.
so cool.
And then you take the
Yeah.
construction paper, cut it all out the same way, and that way it showed through it. Oh yeah, I can make. My grand princess loves me because I can make
Wow.
in the microwave. I can make clouds. I can make electricity. I can do all kinds of such. Yeah.
That's so neat.
It's like Misha science.
I'm
My grandpa
ready to
just
blow
come
it
in. He's
up.
looking
Oh,
at
it's
y'all
good.
like, who are y'all?
Jen said
Yep.
she does shrinky dinks. I remember those.
Shrinky dinks. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you ever
I
remember
much
getting the
remember
chip
those now.
packets? Like the crisp packets, like you get like a whole range, like 12 in a packet, and you get the plastic ones and you put them into the oven and they'd go into tiny little things. You put like a little hole in it and then you wear them as earrings or necklace or anything like that. So just chip packets. And they'd shrink, roll the way down.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, chip packets? What?
Crisps, like
Chips.
potato.
Like Lay's
Potato
never
chip.
came
Yeah.
up?
Different from our shrinky
Yeah.
dinks.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think
I'm intrigued.
Well, I had never heard of. Yeah, I never heard of shrinky dinks, but nowadays they're all like alfoil or what is it, aluminum foil type stuff. It doesn't work. So I tried. Just stuck my oven
My
out.
mind is
This doesn't do it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
see, I used to use my scientific skills for other things, and it actually turned out pretty well for me with the girls. As far as we would make like sugar candy and crystals for science projects at school. They always had the really coolest projects.
That's
We
sweet.
we would make mom, and of course they said it was wow, but I said it was mom. You just turn it upside down,
Mhm.
made out of crystals. Yeah, I mean I love science. So the
Same.
chip packet is actually really intriguing to me.
Paper mache was
Yeah.
my favorite, only because it was the
Yes.
only thing my mom knew how to do. So it's the only thing we did.
But that's fun too.
Although she did macrame.
I just did gaming with my kids because then this is not messy.
Yes.
I
different
couldn't
different
handle the
era.
mess. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, see, I did baking when they were little because I was a tuck shop mum.
Oh,
A
okay.
canteen mum, maybe. So oh man, if I ever see another cupcake, I'd probably go
I'd probably
insane.
eat
Oh, I hate
If I
them. I
saw
hate
another cupcake, I'd
cupcakes.
eat it.
Ugh, I hate cupcakes and toffee. I used to make cupcakes and toffee because I knew how to make toffee without burning it. So I'd be like, oh man.
Get out.
Just add if you add a bit of baking soda, it turns into honeycomb. Goes all bubbly. That's like a
Oh,
science
wow.
experiment too. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
science
I'm
experiment you can
listening.
do with
Yeah,
kids.
I'm very
That they can
because we
eat.
like coffee too.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
And then you can cut it up into
Correct.
pieces and cover it with chocolate.
Yes,
Davey
It's
said
like
we
a
did-
crunchy.
She did Play-Doh and made bun pies
Yeah.
outside. I'm Play-Doh. We would definitely. We were big Play-Doh people.
I loved walking.
But it always dried
through
out.
all
It
that.
was.
Yeah.
I've got this modeling clay now that it's been years and it's still soft and I can still use it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found
Like-
some Play-Doh the other day under my table.
A little hard rock.
Yeah. I'm just like, I don't even play with this.
oil or coconut
No,
oil. It'll make the
Yeah,
Play-Doh
well,
not
when you make it
dry.
yourself,
Yeah,
when you make it yourself, it actually lasts a lot longer.
does
It does. And it tastes good
You
when you
put
make
it
it
in the
yourself.
Oh, see,
I
we never made it where it tasted good. I tried it, and it was like either had too much baking soda or too much salt, and it was just the most disgusting thing.
Yeah, I had to add a whole bunch of salt to stop my daughter from eating it. I'm like, no food, no food.
Oh my god!
Looks like a banana, not banana.
Okay,
I
Yeah,
must
we
be
need to have
hungry.
easy
I'm like
bake
all about
ovens.
food today.
how could you like your easy bake oven? It didn't really bake anything. You know, you could put your stuff under a lamp and get it about the same.
Yeah, that's all it was.
That's
I
what
watched-
you're doing.
It was a light bulb.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a halogen
It's
light
like our
bulb. I
wax
watched this
melt
thing the
now.
other day. It caused a whole bunch of burns though.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
we didn't
Mhm.
have one. We didn't have that over here. We just used actual ovens. With parental supervision.
Well, for those of us that weren't allowed, that was
America
kinda cool 'cause we were
tries
getting
to
away with
see
it.
how many kids can kill themselves.
Well, I
Man,
heard about
for real.
lawn darts.
Of our generation, you know, I look at the toy kitchens. You know, I had a toy kitchen. Did y'all have one at a little refrigerator stove and sink?
Mhm, the sink,
It
the
had
cabinets opened up.
sharp. It was metal and had sharp corners.
Oh.
Oh, now they're that hard plastic and
Oh
round.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God! It's a wonder we just didn't die.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
why we
monkey
do so
bars
good
and merry-go-rounds and.
Oh
They
my
don't
gosh,
let
the
me take
merry-go-rounds,
kids.
right? How many kids went flying off of that thing?
I know my youngest son broke his arm on the monkey bars, but
Oh, I
they
know.
don't let
Yeah.
them have that stuff no more.
So many people broke their arms on a monkey. But you know, we still went and it was fun. And we rode
Yes.
in the back seats of pickup trucks.
And you know why it was
Right.
fun? Because we didn't have this stuck in our
Yeah.
face
Right.
like
Yeah.
these kids do.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But I
it
will
was-
tell you too, you guys think about this. The merry-go-rounds, was that not most of our first high?
Yeah.
as long as
But
I
when you
had
lean
was
back,
sitting
you get
I,
dizzy.
sitting in the middle, holding on to the post like this, because I
Yeah.
was scared to death to go flying off of it. So I would be sitting on the ground of it, just holding on to the
Oh.
post.
I remember
Do you know how they got-
running, all of us running around it and then
Oh, yeah.
jumping on
Yeah.
for dear
Yes,
life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
100%.
And then
swinging-
sticking my
some of our
arms out,
legs
holding on with my
swinging
legs
off.
and flying.
Yep.
Oh my
Well, yes,
God.
so that's what I'd do. I'd be on the edge because you know how they've got the square bit on
Yeah.
the edge that's got the pole in the middle. So I'd sit
Yeah.
on the top,
Mhm.
wrap my legs around the thing. People would spin. I'd just be going, "Wee-hee-hee."
Yes, flying
know.
like we're flying and getting it, girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, although you don't want anyone to be close, could just go poof and you whack.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so many people.
I never got injured. I was never injured.
So many people hurt.
Other people might have been because of me.
The only bone I broke growing up was my mother. I was getting out of the car to be inducted to be a brownie. You know,
Oh,
before
I was
Girl
a brownie.
Scouts,
yeah.
and she slammed my finger in the car door. Look at it. She said, "It ain't broke,
Ah.
y'all."
Oh my gosh. Oh,
You know what?
She didn't want to
I-
have a doctor's visit.
Davey says
I
she
did
still
that
goes on
one time.
merry-go-rounds. I want to know where there is a merry-go-round still, because I think they pulled them from every playground. in
There's
Michigan.
all the ones I grew up on in my hometown are gone. Every
Yeah.
one of them.
I
There's
was gonna
I've got
say, I
one near my
would like to go
house.
on one.
I guess we're gonna have to go to Davey to get merry-go-round somewhere.
might-
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
I
I'm too far.
remember
But there's
them.
one near my house. There's a whole park near my house, and a skate park, and a water park, and all that sort of stuff.
Love
I'm moving in. I just have to get a kid graduated.
Bradley was
Yeah,
still
but
doing
I'm
the
free.
thing back here.
I always
The difference with this one though is it's flush with the ground. So you turn, you can't.
Yeah,
You can fall, but you don't fall off. You just fall over.
Ah.
Type thing.
okay.
I've seen those.
So
I
it's
would
still
get hurt
cool
on
though,
that
you know.
probably just as easy.
Well, see, the thing is, I want to go to the park when there's no kids there because they just get in the way of my enjoyment. But it's got this
Right.
massive slide, and there's no lights, so you go out there at night time, and you just go in the dark. But there's an adult park here in not far, well, somewhere in Brisbane. It's made for adults. It's like
Oh, I
No.
want to go.
it's
I
it's
want
a bit dangerous for kids.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that though.
Oh my
y'all.
gosh, I love it.
You have to get off camera. I have to call my daughter.
Okay.
I was just
So
fixing to
in-
say, why haven't you said anything, mister?
Thanks for joining
Okay.
us, though. Gracing
Oh,
us
still
with your
in the chat.
presence. He just
You're
wanted us to
absolved.
look at him.
I gotta call my son.
And the kitty.
I'm supposed to babysit sometime.
It's
I don't know if it'll be tonight or tomorrow.
I have to just address Ann Hummingbird. Ann wrote a comment there that was asking, did anybody smash their pumpkins? That would have been sacrilege at my house. So no, the answer. My
did.
father would not allow anything like
did.
that to ever happen.
We so did. We'd
Pumpkin's
take
not
the
a big
seeds and
thing
cook
here.
'em.
Yeah, my mom and my daddy was a big hunter, and he believed in like giving back to nature and stuff. Like when we had a Christmas tree, we drug it out in the woods for it
Oh,
to be
right.
rabbits and squirrels' homes and that kind of stuff.
That's
But so
awesome.
we would take our pumpkin and go throw it in the woods too for nature.
Oh, we could do that. We could
That's
throw
what
it
we
in the
did.
thing, but we could not smash it like by the house or
Oh,
or
no.
smash it into pieces or whatever.
Now,
Well, that's
is
what
that-
Ann's talking about. They were
Is that
We did.
Is
but
it
by the
I lived in the
clothesline.
country too.
I
so-
just don't know about it.
You still have a metal slide there? We had one at
Heck yes.
the school where Kieran and my son grew up. They had one until a few years ago, actually, and it was huge. It went down a hill, actually.
Yeah.
Wow. There's
We
still
don't know what
pumpkins
we
growing.
did.
like.
At our skating rink in we was talking about earlier in the parking lot, they threw up a water slide that started up in a spiral and come down. It was 5 stories high.
Oh,
And
wow.
y'all, there was no safety things on it. And every kid in Carrollton got on it. Can you believe that?
Oh,
They
I
wouldn't let
bet.
nobody on nothing like that today.
I got a huge gash on the side of my leg from a water park where I went up like and almost over than the thing because it was just a half tube, right?
I've got it.
There's metal on the top,
A
right?
dear childhood friend that
Oh.
went up and threw plexiglass and it cut him to pieces. Yeah, and he's
Oh,
dead now. He died 2 years ago of a drug overdose because he got hurt in high school. Not that he got cut up bad at that, but then he got hurt playing football.
Oh, it's on Belle Isle. That makes sense.
Drank, and he died 2 years ago on pills and drinking.
Mm.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
not. Jen is in Dana, and I'm not quite following that. But
Have you ever heard of Australia's big fruits things? Like we've got a big pineapple and a big banana and big prawn, big mango. Anyway, they're near the big pineapple. I grew up in the Sunshine Coast. There's a big pineapple. Anyway, just up the road from that, there's a big slide that's kind of in the ground, like it's like an in ground slide. Anyway,
That's so cool.
kids always break their arm on it.
Oh my god!
And it hasn't shut down. Yeah, because you go off and you go down and you go whoop, poof off the side because it's
Yeah.
the things aren't high enough. So the kids just go poof, break their arm. Parents like,
Eh,
learn.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no, I
It's a
missed
rite
that.
of
I was looking for a
passage.
picture and I didn't get to see it. Can
It's
I
a
see it
rite of
again?
passage. There was a park, and I forget what it's. I want to say Palisades Park, but I know that's not right. But they finally shut it down after people had enough accidents there. But there was like they'd had deaths, they'd had severe injuries and stuff, and just year after year it kept reopening.
Good goodness.
It's just one of those things.
yeah. I'm gonna have to get off here. I need to call my son and see what we're doing about the grandbaby.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Love you,
I-
girl.
I love y'all. I really
Kelly, thank you
enjoyed
so
it.
much for being on here.
I really did, and anytime.
Perfect, wonderful.
I'm a
That's how you love me. I'm a moron.
I'm a traumatized human, and I need to talk about it. So anytime,
Right?
Before you go, Kelly, I wanted to read this at the end of our thing anyway, but we might lose people. So I want to read, this is another thing I come across yesterday, and I really love this. It says, "Don't judge me. You can't handle half of what I've dealt with. There's a reason I did the things I did. There's a reason I do the things I do. There's a reason I am who I am." And I'm adding,
that is so
there's a reason I am a survivor.
right. I love that. I really love that, and that is so true because I've been through some shit. You know, abuse from parents, from men, life, and
And it beats us down, but we're still
it
here.
does. But
You're a
still
survivor.
here.
You
Yeah,
are
it
a
It
survivor.
builds us up
Yeah.
too, y'all. The things that we have gone through has made us stronger, even though it sucks
Right.
and I don't want to go through it. It makes us stronger so we can do things and be there and
Right.
become what we're supposed to be.
Right. And
I think it
took
makes
all
us kinder too.
those psych classes,
Oh, absolutely.
human
Empathy.
services courses, and I can't finish school, but I learned a lot, and I want to use what I did learn towards helping people.
Absolutely.
And I do. I
Absolutely.
learned a lot. I was making straight A's. I just ran out of financial aid.
Hey, this
We
is
can get you back there.
helping everybody. And, we've got this group who started with us, and then there's going to be another group of new people, and we're going to
Yeah.
be teaching them, and we're going to be helping them
Exactly.
recognize the trauma and deal with the trauma and give them a safe space to have as well. And that's what I'm excited about, that
Right.
that next wave of people who will come through.
Yeah.
Ripples.
And absolutely.
Exactly. And
And
and with all of us supporting each other, we ain't gonna fail.
no,
And I do. I
100%.
support all
Yes.
y'all.
Oh.
I might replay you, and I might be listening to you while I'm in the bathtub or making some toast. But I do. I've got Blessed to Crochet playing on my TV right now. But I do stuff like that because I want to support and show love.
And
You
that
know?
I
awesome.
also watch in the bath.
April 4th, guys, I will be going on Blessed to Crochet.
Okay.
We need to get a notion going, and we need to have all of the people that are doing this have calendars so we don't interfere with another one's show.
Yeah.
And we know where to
Yeah,
go. Like
she's
if
going
we need
live
something.
now. They're driving somewhere down the road. That's
Yeah,
And
and that
you
was the
kinda just
thing,
gotta
trying
go.
to pick a time. We're still gonna
Well,
cross
I'm
over each
always
other.
available. That would
Yeah.
I wanted to do middle of the night, but then Chow started doing it because that would
She's
have been
only one
perfect
of
for
them.
me.
You could do another one.
But I
I was
enjoy
gonna say
being
we can
in
do different
theirs.
times.
Yeah, I enjoy being in there with her.
So
I
go an
enjoy
hour
that
earlier.
group. I enjoy our group and y'all know who I'm talking about because we all see each other. But I enjoy those, and I like to be there in their chats, and I hate them.
Yeah, I like the interaction, live
Yeah.
interaction and getting questions
Yeah.
out. And also just interacting with people in the chat. Generally, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Hello.
Me and Karen were talking last night, and we were like, we don't know what to call it, or she said, should we do tribe? Should we do what all did you say, Sharon?
Clan.
Tribe?
I got clan. I was trying to think of
Clan.
something. Look at the boat, but and
Right.
other people have kind of opted friends and family. You're my friends and family, Cecilia. So I was just trying to think of something that we could kind of call all ourselves. And I'm like, well, it
call you
takes
all
a
my
village,
peeps.
but I don't want to call you all villagers because that's like Minecraft. So
I'm into that. Me and Steve.
yeah. I wasn't sure how some people might feel about that. So
Although we walk
I
around
don't care. I
and
call y'all family
yeah. What do you say?
all the time. So, but I'm gonna get off here so I can call Will.
Okay,
Love
absolutely.
you
I
all.
love
Do
y'all.
some more
I
art.
enjoyed this, and we'll do it again.
Absolutely,
Anytime.
100%.
I love being able to share.
Yes. Thanks,
It's
Kelly.
good for me. All
Have
right.
a good one.
Good night, y'all.
We'll talk
I'll
to
see
y'all.
y'all.
Love you.
Mhm.
Love y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Y'all are my people.
Yes.
Like my
Yeah, that's
person.
like I
You're
call
my
everyone
person.
my peeps.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. And I really hope that, let's throw some ones up for Anne, and let's all say a prayer for Anne, or do whatever you do to just hope that, she gets some answers now this time. And hopefully we'll be able to figure some things out, because I hate it when you come on here and I just keep hearing you're having issues, and sometimes I don't see you, and Jenn's in contact with you, and that's got to be awful. I just, really, 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 really want you to get better soon. So we'll give up all the prayers we
Yeah,
can.
you've been through so much because of that.
She said a little bit of a bit there. Well, we've been going at this for a little over 4 hours. So
I got a big thing to catch up on in the beginning.
I think I need to. My son arrived, but he definitely didn't want to be on film. It's just like, I said, come and meet everybody. He's like, no, thank you.
My son's the opposite. Like if I tell him to stay away, he'd come and be like, if I tell him to come on. He'd be like, no. I
think
think
it's
I'll talk about him, but he will show his face.
I think it's part of the age too.
Yeah.
It's
He's
the-
24 yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. That was
Yesterday?
just so cute. Yeah.
Yeah, it was his birthday yesterday.
Oh wow. Well, happy belated
my
birthday to
God.
him.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a sweet.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'll
So
let him know.
technically,
Thank
would
you.
that make it his birthday today here? So we're still not late.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
23rd of March.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's his
Tell him we
23rd
said
still
happy
here.
birthday.
So happy birthday. He got twofer. He just didn't get
Yeah.
anything for it.
Instead of this gift, I got you this gift. Oh, no, sorry, the other way around. Instead of this gift, I got you this gift. That's my favorite birthday gift.
I got you this gift. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get off of here so you can run to the restroom, young lady, and go get on with your
Yes.
life. You did amazing. My gosh, look at this. 4 hours long.
It was,
I'm so
yeah. I wanted to show. I don't think you can see them as much as they're not as, but I'll read you a few of these T-shirt sayings that I found the other day that I just went, oh my God, that's like hilarious, and us and me anyway. But this one said, "I must warn you, my inner child is a mean little shit."
That's a good one.
Oh, that was just hilarious.
Christy, I love you. She
If I'm
said
too, if I'm too much, then go find less.
Yeah, that's good.
I like that one. I like that one. The broken crayon still color. I like that one too. And you are about to exceed the limits of my medication.
That's funny. Cricket would like that.
I really like that one. And this became my favorite one. And if it was in a better quality T-shirt, I would have gotten it. But it's not gray hair. It's wisdom glitter.
Wisdom glitter.
Yes.
Yes,
Don't you love
girl.
that? That is now my
Yes.
favorite. Yes.
I'm all glittery.
So yeah, exactly. If any of you have gray hair, I'm just going white basically because I don't do gray. It's wisdom glitter.
Do you know that I had gray hair, and then once I went bald, believe it or not, like 4 or 5 just different spots on my head. I have long hair, and it just one day he looked at me, he says, "What's on your head?" And then he realized it was bald spots.
Wow.
And ever since then it grew back, not a problem. It was just very, very humbling, and it helped with my agoraphobia immensely.
Wow.
I'd never worn a
Interesting.
hat before. Yeah, it
Right,
was
right.
I don't know, but anyways, I don't have gray hair anymore. Weird. But if
That
that's a side effect, I'm like, okay.
yeah, that's kind of I do like the don't tell me how to act my age. I don't know how. I've never been this age before.
Right. Well, like mine just said that was up there. It's so weird being the same age as old people.
Yeah, exactly. This one too. I sent this one to I sent this one to Jen, of course. It says, "Hold on, let me go overthink this."
That would be me.
Yeah, as all of us from time to time, right? We all just gonna go, ah.
Oh, terrible! It's terrible.
Christy,
Overachievement.
yes, I found this. Do you have this one with a like horse unicorn who's like splayed out, and he's just like, "I'll get over it. I just have to be dramatic first." I want that shirt. That is just too funny.
That's awesome.
I
I like when it says feeling kind of cute, might throw a tantrum later.
Yeah.
And I know it's for a baby, but it's okay. It works for me too.
My inner
Or it did.
my inner child is a mean little shit. I've got to
Yeah,
have
I
that
love
one
that.
too.
She is too. Mine is a little heifer.
Yeah, I gotta have that. I wanted a plaque though. I don't need a T-shirt. I think that I'd take it out of the T-shirt and like put it on a board or something, and then put that one
Right.
in. That one of the things that would be absolutely awesome.
Get like a name
Okay,
tag.
guys. Yeah. Well, it has been absolutely awesome spending the afternoon with you guys.
I'm proud of you.
And for the evening. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I'm proud of
everything
all
you've
of
been doing
you.
is amazing.
Every single one of you. You guys make this. Otherwise, I would just be talking, and no one wants to hear me talk for that long.
It's like a
And
bunch of crickets.
so it
That's
just,
what
this is interesting, and we get to know each other, and I like this kind of chill at the end time. We've been doing this a
Yeah.
little bit, and I
Good.
think the more we get to know each other and can see each other, It's like being with each other. And that's just really neat.
Exactly. And if you were to see me in person, you would just get a bunch of pictures anyways, because I'm all about the pictures. So I'm just like saving the middleman and just doing the pictures.
One day I will get a selfie out of you, though. I will get a selfie out. You can send it to me privately, but I will get
No,
one.
honestly, I've got a thing all pretty much done up. I've got like 200,000 million n times 5 videos that are almost completed that I just got to put up there, from like 7 years ago back. And one of them is, my name is, and it's introducing myself, and it's got a bunch of pictures of me, and that way people can see me.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
that's the me that I am. This person that keeps getting in front of the mirror and the damn cameras is not the same person. She needs to get out of my way. But
you're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it. But anyways,
absolutely.
Get off here. I'm gonna take you and make you just stay forever. So get off here.
And lots of people want to talk to you. I've just been talking for 4 hours, so I need to get off here. But it's a thing. You don't have to go home. It just can't stay here. So
like at the bar. Well, yeah,
exactly. So you can. So Discord's open.
Yeah,
we know we're all on that. So
I'm gonna throw Metropolis up here in a little bit. So keep an eye out for that. I love y'all.
I love you. Thank you so much. And I'll get with you, and we'll get the intro and outro going with this. We've got some really cute things planned, and I think it's going to be really neat. Remember, you are beautiful, you are valuable, you are worthy, and you are loved.
Yes.
Bye of y'all for now, guys. Bye for now. Love you all. Talk to you guys later.